Welcome to Wednesday Comics.
Brought to you by rootsoftheswampthing.com and Supercon 2018 Return of the Con.
Hey everyone, keep turning those pages.
Welcome to Wednesday Comics. To my left, we have Cash himself. Alex, how you doing?
Hello everyone.
Out of nowhere. To my right, we have the engineer, Garrett. How you doing?
Doing spectacular.
How many fucking weeks been doing this show that I still fumble on your name and almost call you Alex every single time?
You called me Alex?
I was said Garrett.
Because I used to be to your right.
How dare you disrespect me by calling me?
Why did you guys switch anyways? Oh, the cord.
My cord's longer.
And I kept wanting to drink water and stay hydrated.
Metaphorically and physically.
So. And I am Zealot. I am the leader, obviously. Red coat too.
White hair.
Would you wear a red coat, like a long red coat like that? I would.
I don't like a trench coat. I do have a jacket that's red.
That's what I mean. Trench coat.
I think it would look pretty good in a trench coat.
Did you go trench?
Red trench coat though?
Yeah, it matched my red shoes.
Ankle length or like mid thigh?
No, gotta do the ankle length.
Okay, let's make sure.
That way it billows in the wind.
Yep.
Him walking down the street. Color your hair white. I mean, it's halfway there anyways.
I'm already halfway there, naturally. So
so when you guys see Alex,
we'll just make you work more.
I tell you what, if I had like a Superman cape, just a cape in general, that would be my favorite thing, is just standing in the wind while my cape blows.
Question for you. I know last week we played a little this or that copyright. Would you, and there's no caveats, but what I'm telling you, would you become an albino but you get super strength? Would you want to do that? Full white hair, white eyebrows, your eyes are kind of glossed sort of white.
You just go skinhead, look like Lex Luthor, and like do fake eyebrows. Who gives a shit? You look awesome.
You know, I don't know. I think if at least I still have.
How important is your hair to you?
Oh, I don't care if my hair is white. Or
so
my
what's
eyebrows
the
are
hold
white.
up then?
The hold up, am I like super white, like my skin super white, or am I at least
albino baby? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you can't even be in the sun for more than like 2 minutes.
Let's do
There
it.
is no brown. It's all red.
You want to be the pale Superman? That's what I'm going to call you. P.S.
I can't be in the sun. I can't get any strength.
Instead of the sun giving you strength, it weakens you.
It hurts. I get sunburned.
You have to eat
come out at
sunblock
night.
to get a power up.
You only come out at night. That's what happens. You're the night Superman. There's a day, you're the night man.
Of course. Nightman. Hey, that's not a bad name.
This is, what day is it today? Oh, by the way, nope, can't say that because this is actually Sunday. We're going to do a little time theater of the mind here. Today's Sunday, January 28th, 2018.
Oh, that's the day I pay my student loans.
128.
This sucks.
18.
Bummer.
We got a couple of voicemails. We're going to play them and talk about them. Here, let me play the first one here. It's from our friend from actually both these guys, Comic Look. One of them here, old Tommy Boy. Here we go. Oh, you know what would help if I turn off mute. You know, that's one way you can play.
It generally
something.
helps you hear things.
Hey guys, this is Tom from A Comic Book Look. Been loving the podcast as always. Anyway, on this week you asked, would I choose to be a god if I knew that it would kill me every time, you know, like we're talking about Mjolnir and Thor. Yes, definitely. Even if I die, it doesn't matter. I get to be a god, and that has got to be better than being his phone all the time when he's off work. All right, later.
Thank you, Tom. Cut out there so we didn't hear to the last part there. But he did answer the question that I gave to everybody last week. By the way, 605-215-1849. This is the voicemail section. So call in if you want us to, anything you want to do, and leave us a voicemail. Would you be albino and be a Superman? Let me know. How important is your hair? How important is your eyebrows? But the question from last week was, would you become a god knowing that it kills you every time? So there's a finite amount of time you're going to be that god until adios. And Tom says, hey, at least you're going to be a god. Would you do, is that a nice way to look at it? Or Are you still being like, yeah, but it's still like you're a god for, let's say, how long she can be, like a year? Let's say a year.
Nah, she's been dealing with this like since the beginning. So
I think my thing is
In the book, though?
in the book, I think it's still like 3 years.
Yes, I think I'm giving her 3 years.
3 years, 3 to 5. Let's do 3 to 5. You don't know when. After 3, it's kind of like up in the air.
Well, these are my glory years anyways. Might as well use them up.
And be dead at 25.
You're willing to do it. Let the sun burn out.
I know.
You go full force.
Be a hero forever. Go down in history as saving people's lives. Or you're just a blimp.
I think my thing is that hammer doesn't give a shit who you are.
I'm not saying hammer. I don't need that hammer.
Okay, I'm assuming that in my head, it's the Mjolnir is giving you this power.
Mjolnir is a little dick.
That's what I'm telling you. This hammer doesn't care who you are.
Right.
The hammer's not going to go tell stories of, oh, that Garrett, man, he kicks some major ass. That
But if we
hammer's going
learn-
to be like, fuck you. I went to find someone else with a bigger hammer.
We did learn, though, that
Impossible.
they have that library where they do keep the stories of the gods. So he would come down in the history books.
Yeah. And not
So-
only that, I'd make headlines.
Garrett says burn out early rather than be forgotten. Glory early.
It'll be like
and-
All-Star Superman. It'll just fly into the sun, keep it going. See you never.
You're like the Jim Morrison of superheroes. Is that what you're saying?
I have no idea what
The
that
Kurt
reference
Cobain?
means. Still lost
The
me.
Jimi Hendrix.
Sure.
Okay. You don't know any of these people?
Jimi Hendrix, I know.
Okay. You know who Jim Morrison is from The Doors? This is
Sorry, I wasn't 12 when they came out. and,
everybody. This is the
concerts, so-
level of youth I'm working with in here.
I like how
And this is the level of old ass that I have to deal with.
Alex, what did you say? You gonna do it?
I don't know, because I think, I'm a god for, 2 years, and then I'm signing my death warrant.
I was gonna say you will
Oh,
go.
we said 3 to 5.
Because you're no longer a god. You're just a guy who's, to me, you're not a god yet. A god implies you are impenetrable. You are all-knowing, not going to die. Well, guess what? At the end of when I am done still using this hammer, I'm a dead man.
So what about the infamous quote, with great power comes great responsibility?
What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah,
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm not saying
if
I'm
you
not
had
doing.
the choice to
I'm not saying I'm not
save
doing
people,
amazing things.
to save the world, you know how scary the world
He
is
just
right
gives
now?
it to somebody else and they do it.
But the weird thing is that if you listen to Iron Man, where he tells Spider-Man, without the suit, you're nothing. Then you shouldn't have the suit. If I'm nothing
Alex-
without the hammer, then I shouldn't have the hammer.
Alex is just telling you, without the hammer, he's not a hero. So he's not gonna be a hero with that hammer.
Fuck that shit.
The guy wouldn't
Sorry,
even
your
die.
weapons are so
The guy wouldn't
small.
go albino. You think he's gonna kill himself? To be honest?
I can't go outside.
I knew this guy was out when I was like albino. He's like, no. He's like, kill yourself. He's like, no, not that either.
No, not.
I'm a no too. Fuck that shit. Mostly because I don't want to wear that armor. So,
Dude, I would wear the armor. That's not my problem. I'm not going to
question: would you kill yourself to wear that armor? But you're not a god.
If I won't do it to be a god, I probably won't do it to
That's
not
the
be a
parody
god.
I'm writing right now. All she does is put it on, and she puts her armor on, and slowly kills her.
I want there to be
That is
the opposite of Mighty Thor. It's the shitty Thor, where it's I'm going to wear this crappy armor to make me weak.
Jane, this armor's radioactive. Put it on me.
Do it.
I don't know why she had a lead voice, but
What's that radioactive material? She's changing.
I think mainly because, like I was saying last week, like she does have a chance to heal herself, and she's like, "Nope, don't heal me. I'm going to do this the right way." But then she's killing herself. So like,
And not taking her chemo treatments.
yeah.
But that's the thing is that she wants. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
we
chemo's
talked about last
magic.
week. Go back to last week's episode entitled "Guppy versus Superman." We talked about it on the and the review for Thor. So.
Superman wins that battle 9 times.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. Flick.
Guppy's head explodes. Excuse me, Guppy v Superman. That's what I called the episode.
Hey guys, this is
Whoa, again, second time. That's the wrong one. Here we go. Another one. It's a little long here. About a minute.
Barton America coming at you. Boom! I'm doing dad duty, so I got a baby in one hand. I'm trying to cook in the other. So if you hear the smoke detector go off, that means dinner's ready. I just want to tell you guys Wednesday's comics. What is up with last week? I did not hear any review of Aquaman. How are you glossing over Aquaman? Artwork almost as good as Sedgwick. Storyline is still running strong. With Aquaman being the reluctant hero who doesn't want to be king, so somebody else has to take over to unite all the people. And who's that going to be? Mara. That's why she's going to have her own book. I'm telling you, this story is gangbusters. You guys should be on it. Otherwise, hey, thanks for reminding me, though, that Manifest Destiny was going this week. once again, as they're in South Dakota. You guys should be reading that too. I'll definitely be giving a review so that you guys can see that. Otherwise, keep telling me what pages to flip. I love your guys' show. I love all the little videos. I love every bit of extra content you give me. Can't wait to read the next book. And catchphrase!
He does actually love our extra content video. Go to YouTube and type in Wednesday Comics. So much so that on Twitter, now I'm getting harassed, Sergeant America, asking for that video. No, I'm just kidding. It's cool. Because there's a little snafu in giving it this week, so I was sleeping. Got to go to sleep. Actually, no, I was at the Great Show, and that's why I didn't go up last night.
Wow.
Too busy seeing that Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman, that's right.
I did read Hugh Jackman said that's the second hardest role to prepare for after Logan. Which I would imagine, but I didn't mention he kills people in that show. That's why.
I mean, I bet those harnesses are really tight.
No, he doesn't do any of that. Actually, he just like walks around.
Huh.
So I didn't really get why he meant that, but
Yeah, but it's different going from a grumpy old man. I would know personally, and being this. It looks like it's a lighthearted, not maybe a lighthearted movie, but he is this happier character.
By the way, quick review for Greatest Showman. Good songs. Listen to the soundtrack. If you enjoy the songs, go see the movie. Logan, speaking, by the way, we'll talk about the voicemail in a second here, but it went on a tangent real quick. Logan, nominated for an Oscar, Best Adapted Screenplay. So congratulations to Logan. Sweet. I think that is Marvel's first Oscar nomination, besides visual effects.
Go the distance, because that was a great movie. And Wonder Woman got snubbed.
Yeah, people were complaining about that.
It's like, me too, where's Wonder Woman?
I was hoping that, I mean, cinematography-wise, it looked pretty great. So,
yeah.
So Aquaman. I know, Garrett, hold on a second. Hold them back. Garrett has some thoughts on Aquaman. I am going to read that book in trades. Once again, that is like a 25% possibility with me. But that's is the plan. I do have them marked to my queue in Hoopla, so it is the plan. So I am going to read it eventually. Same thing with Manifest Destiny, because on Sarge's YouTube channel, I do watch him review that book and look at the art. Art looks great, so I will read that on there too. But Garrett, you have some words on Aquaman.
So I got the Aquaman run post him like losing his throne and him fighting, like getting the throne back, like him not wanting to be the king of Atlantis. And I get it. Like it's a lot of work, responsibility, blah, 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 wah, wah, wah. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say about it is I really do like Aquaman, but right now, currently, this Aquaman who's fighting so much of being who he is, like he's like shutting himself down. He's too scared. He's scared of, upsetting the people on land. He's upsetting on failing the people underwater. It's like, in my eyes, like he's a coward. Like right now, he's being written as a coward. Obviously, so much that his wife is gonna like take over this throne because her husband can't do it. Like, what?
I don't really think that's the reason. I just think that she's as strong as he is, and that's why she's.
And she rightly deserves it. But she's not afraid of her strength, is what I'm saying. He is, but he's not willing to take a risk.
That's also been an aspect of Aquaman, though, because he's from the land and from the sea, and he's always torn between what's his duty. Is it protecting, being a human or being king of Atlantis?
Yeah,
that actually you complained about that part you're talking about. I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. Maybe I should read that.
I don't know. I read it for that arc. I read it in previous arcs. Like, I'm sick of his, like, it's just constant fear. And I get that, that's something you definitely have to overcome. But, like, that's been your biggest thing your whole freaking career.
Let me ask you a question then, because I was going to segue into the Aquaman movie and the thing that I don't like about it. But it sounds like you might be on board. It sounds like they are making it like a full-out action movie. It's all about him being like a super badass.
It doesn't need to be all action. I want him to embrace being Aquaman, not be cowered into it. Right now he's like stealth Aquaman because he doesn't want to be in the spotlight. It's like for a hero, it's never about being in the spotlight. You just happen to come across it while you're doing the right thing. You don't. If you think of Jessica Cruz and Green Lanterns, like she gets scared shitless, but she has willpower to overcome it and do something about it. As opposed to being like, I shouldn't do this because what are these people going to think? Like, that's not a hero.
But I think it's different when Jessica only comes from Earth, right?
Yeah.
So there isn't another world that she's lived in going, okay, well, who am I going to piss off? Where For Arthur, it's going to be, well, I'm torn.
Right.
Who am I? Whose side do I choose to be? Because whoever side I choose, I want to piss off the other side. If I go for Atlantis, everyone's going to be pissed from the land. If I go for the land, my followers are going to be pissed at me.
And then maybe if you have Mara rule instead, you don't have to worry about that because you can just rule by proxy, or even like just have a joint, understanding. And yeah, actually, that sounds. I might read that.
Jesus,
I don't know.
Politics. It sounds very political.
Well, that's what it was before, but it's like more political scare through his point of view, not anybody else's.
I think for me, the only reason I don't actually get Aquaman is that I am so far behind that.
Like I said, if you're a
for me, it's going to be one of those things. I will probably eventually just have to get Hoopla and read Green Lantern so I can read what you guys read and then read Aquaman. I like Aquaman.
That's the thing too. I like Aquaman too.
It.
I just fell behind, and then eventually I was like, oh well, I'll catch up with this later.
That book is great. I don't like where his direction is going. That he just can't embrace who he is. And
I'm just saying that I do like it when a hero is fallible a little bit. It's like, and they're not who they're supposed to be, and they're trying to fight back to that place. And I think that's, Tom King's Batman was that way when he kind of is trying to fight back to how he was. So actually, I don't mind it. But I do see, I'm not saying your point. That's what I'm saying. Your point's not wrong. I'm just saying I enjoy that. So
yeah, I enjoy getting to that place, but get there.
Yeah,
don't pull my finger for like 3 years, and I'm not getting anywhere.
Yeah, well, eventually you just need a toot. So
toot.
If they're pulling your finger,
what are you, 7?
You're the one who set up the joke. I had to take it
by saying toot.
Hey, let's not use the other word because it's my word, my
flatulence right there.
Least favorite word in the human language.
What, fart?
English. Oh, you son of a bitch. By the way,
you farted all over Chris Samney for getting him on your top 5 list.
Here is. I'm going to ignore all that. Here is my prediction on this show. That Aquaman movie is going to be horrible, and not horrible. I bet you think people like it, but I bet everything about that character that I love, and that's true to that character, not going to be on screen. You know how I know? Because they were like, let's release that first promo picture. And you know what they choose? Jason Momoa, shirtless, in jeans, walking through a submarine. That's the first picture they release. That could be from any movie. It's not from Aquaman at all. Yeah. And they're like, that's the one to get people excited. And that's what they chose to release. So it doesn't make me confident that team knows what's going on.
to get the girls to the theater.
That's right.
Like, why not release him in his costume doing something?
Still not cool with the whole air pocket thing either. That's gonna bug me.
I saw that in Zack Snyder's cut, that does not happen. That's a Joss Whedon.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. Excuse my French.
There's a lot of more Aquaman stuff in Zack Snyder's cut. Did you sign that petition? No, nobody signs that petition. Yeah, some people did. Some people showed up at Warner Brothers to protest that like 2 weeks ago.
I think that would have. I think his cut would have been.
You know how people showed up? Not even kidding. 30 people. Very dedicated. Yeah. Good for you.
I think that's one of those movies I need to re-see again. And I know
JL?
Yeah.
I definitely want to see it with some Zack Snyder scenes.
Hey, we talked about before the show started. I got that movie pass. So I was like, hey, let me go see this Justice League again. Gone. It was gone like in 2 weeks. Out of the theaters.
Well, I know it's coming out in, I think it's February.
I don't get the time to watch it.
It's getting released. So.
Really? That's a quick turnaround, right? November that's 4 months.
I do like that Justin Lin's directing it, though. I think that's...
Oh, we're back on Aquaman? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Sorry. Segue.
I do like him, but I don't know...
But he does do the Fast and Furious movies, and we know what those movies are about.
He also did Insidious.
Family.
Insidious. I like Insidious. And
Family does nitrous.
He did Insidious? Yeah, he did Insidious. Yeah. Did he? No, that's James Wan. Sorry, wrong person. Is it Justin Lin? I thought James Wan was directing. I think I'm right.
James Wan?
Yeah, it's directing.
It was Justin Lin.
I don't think so. RootsOfTheSwampThing.com, your definitive source for all things Swamp Thing. Holland Files number 2 should be coming out pretty soon. If you got your pre-order in, you should be expecting to see it pretty soon. So visit the world of Swamp Thing at RootsOfTheSwampThing.com, on Twitter at DC World Swampy, or on Facebook at Facebook.com/RootsOfTheSwampThing. I'll look it up while let's do something different today. Why don't you start your first book?
What the shit?
Doesn't make any sense.
Honestly, now you're going to throw everybody off. So we got Wild Storm, number 11, written by Warren Ellis and art by John Davis Hunt with Steve Boccolato. I this book looks great, but I felt the coloring was a little weird in the second half. Maybe it's just me, but there's something that seemed a little more grainy in it than normal. And I don't. Maybe that's just how it's going. I don't. Maybe that's my specific issue that I had at home. Yeah.
Is it because of the flashbacks?
No, the flashbacks are great. The black and white, or what do you call it? Is that black and white?
Yeah, it's black and white.
Is that okay? Oh, I didn't know what this is called. Seppuku?
No,
wait, that's
that's when you kill yourself with the sword.
Yeah, I'm the one who told you that a couple days ago.
No, it's Sepia.
Sepia. Sounds pretty close. A little more positive outcome when it's called.
What's this called when you commit suicide via a sword? By the way, it is James Wan for Aquaman, so he directed Insidious, and he did direct the sixth Fast and Furious movie, I believe.
I think he did a Saw movie too.
He did Saw. He's a Saw guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Saw guy.
Wildstorm is a book for me. I caught up with 4 of them, and that's a lot
on 4 of them. Wow,
that's a lot of information.
Holy cow!
That's a lot.
Just
of
I thought
book
11, like when they were doing the whole plan.
Yeah,
I was just
wordy.
like,
Those were the books when it was like 9:50. I was like, Alex, hold up, I'm coming early today. Like I need some time to read these 4 books because I was into that first one. I was like, there's no way I'm finishing these 4 before you get here, because you usually get here like a little 15 after.
Yeah.
So I would have had like 25 minutes. And any other day, you could read 4 issues in 25 minutes. That's okay. Depends what kind of book.
I can't.
no way.
Depends what kind of book.
2.
Like Doomsday Clock, there's a lot of silent stuff in there. You can read that book in 2 minutes.
Took me 20.
But
It's about 20 minutes.
Wildstorm, there's no way. Those are dense books. That took me like close to 10 minutes each, 7 to 10 minutes per issue.
Almost they should.
That's what I mean. It is. I'm not complaining. I'm
Come
saying
from the
it's
speed
a lot of
reader over
information.
there.
Yeah, even speed reading, I can get like 10 minutes. 8
I
to
say,
10
I
minutes.
for me, it takes me about 10 minutes to read most.
I want to
issues.
ask you guys: is it information? Do you feel like that it's still exciting with all that information? Because we talk about it a lot of time when there's a lot of information dump that it seems like it kind of bogs on the book, or does it feel like the pace is still there?
I think for this book, I'm okay getting this much wordiness in it because I know when we get to the last probably 6 issues or at least 4 issues, it's going to be a lot of ass kicking with a little less writing. So I'm fine getting the backstory, but I will admit this was a little more wordy than I was expecting.
It's a lot of setup for what they're trying to accomplish, and I'd rather have it be some kind of like subtle, like we know it, like we can figure it out for ourselves. We don't have it like spoon fed to us. But there is a lot in there that's good too, establishing like Skywatch versus IO. I mean, that's good, kind of that political scare between the 2 factions. So, but I really liked, I think the team is obviously the strongest part of Wildstorm. That's who they are. And I think that focus should have been on them more, not this like sleeper group that's like trying to blackmail Skywatch, but also IO is trying to screw over. And like, I think it almost could have got lost in itself, and it wasn't too much, but it was getting close.
I actually, so I'll agree with. I think you did mention that there's a lot of stuff going on, but it does feel like it's going somewhere. Like you said, the last 6 issues, it does feel like it's ramping up, and there is that suspense.
Yeah.
So even though there's a lot of information, a lot of books when that happens, when there's a lot of information, for me, at least I feel like it's a stop or like a roadblock, and I'm kind of like, okay, now I'm gonna read all this. Or this, it feels like almost that like I'm in a car getting chased.
Yeah.
It raises the tension a little bit, and I'm like, and I do feel like, like I see those words, I'm like, oh, geez, a lot of information. But I never feel like the pace slows any. I feel like we're going through it a lot, even though, like you said, there's a lot of people involved now, so there's a lot of stuff like to be like, oh, I don't know who this is, what group are they part of again? But I think that eventually it's going to come to a head, and it'll be worth it.
Yeah. Oh, I think in the long run, this will be totally worth it, what you're getting. But I will admit, even 10 was kind of a wordy book for me, where I can't imagine having read 4 books back to back.
Well, because think about it.
That would have been
what issue was it where
hefty.
we had that gunfight that we said was so great? Was it 7?
I think it's 7.
I think it was earlier than that, even like 5 or 6.
But that happens in this book, right? We
Yeah.
get like 5 of like a lot of information, and then we get like 3 issues of like all action.
Yeah.
And like where it pays off, and then they go back to setting up things like Eric said. They set up a lot of stuff, and then they see the dominoes fall. And I think that's where we're going to get here coming up, especially this next one. Actually, there's a break in between 12 and 13 that's planned because it's going to be like the end of this first year. I think it's 3 months.
Oh, wow.
So
It'll be amazing.
I'm hoping that that's going to be like you said, this is crescendo into issue 12, cliffhanger, and then boom, we're going to move on to...
Well, it makes sense that big fight may have been in 6. because then every 6th issue is this, big resolve of what had been building up.
Yeah. I'm excited to see where this goes. A lot of information, though, so if you're reading this book thinking that it's a pure action book, there's a lot of like scientific talk, which can be, if you think about it too much and like try to read every word and try to figure out what everything is, it will bog you down. I kind of gloss over and be like, I'll figure that out later.
That's my thing, is that there's a lot of a lot of political talk and a lot of technical talk that eventually it's like, I'm just going to read it and I'm going to move on. Eventually they will touch back on it and it'll be more specified, so it makes sense.
I did love the flashback scene in this book.
It was good.
That
was really good.
Black and white with the spaceships when they're going to Skywatch they're attacking the IO.
Yeah, Skywatch is attacking
right.
IO.
Yeah, very cool.
Space City, is that what it was?
Space City Zero.
Space City Zero. I haven't read these. These are on my, once again, on Hoopla on my to read, but I was looking up to see, because it's Warren Ellis. He's written Planetary Authority before, and which actually you guys got me. It's over there. I haven't read it yet, though. The Authority. And I guess a lot of people are saying that a lot of stuff from those books actually is coming back, and Space Age Zero is from Planetary. So I guess I could be reading those books and getting a lot of back information, but I don't think you need to. I understand what's going on fine.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of those things where, like, if I knew that city from that book, I would be like, oh, sweet. I know what this is.
Nice callback to it.
But for us, it's just, like you said, it's still cool to see that scene. I really did like the art in that scene, too.
Yeah.
And I do agree. It does look a little different, but it doesn't look totally different.
It's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad, but there was just something at like the last fourth of the issue where it just seemed, I don't know if the coloring was off or maybe it may have been just me who thinks it was weird.
I think it was just you because the art looks the same that I've always recognized.
You know what? You were complaining at the beginning of the show that your cover looked like it had a printing error. Maybe you have a printing error.
No, my printing error was on Black Magick.
Wrong book. Yep, you're right.
But I mean, and not that I couldn't possibly have a printing error. I know my hang on, I'll come to you. New 52 issue 2 of Wonder Woman has a black printing error in the issue where I can't read something.
Yeah, that art looks pretty spot on from her.
Actually, yeah. Now that I'm looking at it, I guess I don't see. I think maybe it was a different issue. I saw it. By the way, guys, Milk Wars coming to January.
Sure.
All right.
I'll see when I'll believe it when I see it.
Delays.
Yeah.
There was something that you're like, oh, engineer gets her outfit.
Yeah.
She drink. What does she drink?
I think she created like a concoction. She like drained it from her, I think worked on it, and then she didn't get to have it all back.
In that one issue, actually, he says we have something in the basement for you that can help you out, and she goes down there and she finds that and she drinks it.
So now she's got inside is metal, and she can make her suit looks fucking sweet.
Yeah, it's
or
cool.
She's got some color. She looks like she did some Iron Man coloring.
She drinks some special Kool-Aid.
I'm gonna miss that tank though that she looked like before.
Yeah, that's sweet.
That
Just
was pretty
plain
awesome.
armor,
but. You got to go from big and bulky to
I was gonna say
thin
before
and slim.
it was tech. It was like a tank, and now it's like a mech suit. It's more formed to her body.
Right.
Before, but it was killing her before. She had to change it.
Yeah.
It does look cool, but I think like you said, seeing that is like it took a long time to get there, but then now next issue, I hope it's gonna get a payoff. Yeah, it's good.
I give it an 8.
Stuff. 8 stuff.
Yeah, I gave it an 8
good.
as well.
By the way, I catching up on those 4 issues. I told these guys before the show started. Issue number 9 with that samurai fight, excellent, awesome.
I don't remember that. It's been a long time.
They were really small panels.
nighttime,
You remember?
right?
It was like 16 panels across. Oh god, it was so good.
That was at nighttime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in
Good stuff.
Yeah,
Good
cool.
stuff. Black Magick, number 10. This is Greg Rucka, Nicola Scott. It's been a little bit for this book, right? Or has it been consistent?
It's about a month and a half. I think the last one came in November.
Right.
On the cover, one of the creepiest covers I've seen in my life. One of the creepiest books we were talking about before the show started. They're Rowan's
partner,
brother?
Morgan.
Well, partner, yeah, is having his kid. Having his kid, but some people show up and they're in the waiting room at first, and they got those creepy eyes.
Dumb question. Does anybody else see that she's got those weird eyes?
I don't think so.
Because the kid, the nurse or whatever who's in the hallway with her talks to her, hey, little girl, are you lost? And then she mind controls him.
I believe.
I think they're just like brainwashed.
If we're going back on how how the book's been so far, is that anything that has magic is colored, but I believe only people who can do magic can see it.
Okay.
That's why, remember she had that, she swapped out that amulet, right?
Yeah.
And she could see that it was magic, but they obviously put it in the thing. They didn't see anything with it. That's why like nobody reacts to it until she gets there. She sees them and she's like, oh shit.
Okay.
And she knows right away. But that's what I believe anyway.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Well, that would make sense because I thought this girl's got obvious stitches through her lips and blacked
there's no
out,
way.
bags in her eyes. That.
But then again, like they say one word and they can make them do whatever they want.
She's mind controlling him, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Makes that lady hump a couch, though. Please yourself.
We do get a very cool. Well, if you're reading the back pages for most second arc, there was the story of Levesque and the House of Black, and how basically there was a falling out between those two families. And it turns out Laurent, the guy that broke into Rowan's house, is a Levesque. Laurent Levesque. So there's going to be, it's basically like they're, as close to enemies as you could be, like not mortal enemies, but like there's definitely some bad blood between the two.
There's going to be some bad blood in this room.
So that's a warring faction, like they're different kinds of...
They Jesus. Basically, yes. So the Levesque obviously aren't magic inclined. They're more like witch hunters because it's kind of like Hatfields and McCoys, except it's Levesques and the Blacks.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah. So they have this blood feud, and obviously one uses magic and the other doesn't.
How many of you guys thought at the end here where it says you don't want to wake the baby that they're burning the baby in this box?
I thought the baby was in the box burning.
And then she turns, do you? And I was like, oh shit. First off, it's creepy. It's like, oh, you're fucking burning the baby. And then the eyes and the nails and this lady's creepy in general. Yeah. But strong issue. We didn't even talk about the talking cat. We got some humor.
Dude, one of the best characters I've read in a while is Hawthorne.
So we had humor in this issue. We have action or suspense. Strong issue. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure why I growled, but
this has been the issue of the reboot or the second arc.
Yeah,
this is just
one.
Yeah,
I would agree. Really good. When you think about it, not much happens. We just have basically 2-3 scenes, but there's a lot in those scenes where there's a lot of good in those scenes, and a lot of times that's all you need is 3 strong scenes, and that's the issue. Mm-hmm. And then what's happening next? It ends on a cliffhanger where I'm like, okay, what's going to happen with this kid, Sammy boy?
And we're not waiting a year for it to come back. It's only going to be until March.
That's not bad.
What? There's a delay?
Yeah.
No, the next issue comes out then. No, you're right. It does.
It's in March.
Say March.
Well, I guess we kind of waited a month and a half for this one. So,
what is Rowan's friend's name again? Alex. So, Alex gets to meet up with Laurent. She follows him.
Yeah.
And basically,
sorry, but Hawthorne, not mind reads, but mind links with Rowan, saying this person wants to meet you.
Right.
Rowan wants to go meet him, but Alex goes, "You need some sleep."
Well, that's when you first find out that he's a Levesque, is when he writes his name down on the piece of paper. So that's pretty cool. And then our back matter, or extra content, we get Sam's birth certificate. It's got a protection charm on it. So pretty cool. Very excited for the next issue. March does seem kind of far away, though.
And I know. And that's the thing is that it's it's still, it's a month and a half away, or 2 months away.
It'll be spring when we get that issue.
But it'll be the end of the arc, which means there'll be another break right after it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of unfortunate. But
it's good. 9.
I'll give this a 10.
God, I think I gave it a 10.
Do you know what?
This was a 10 for me. This issue was so good, and I left. This actually gave me. It hit me right in the feelers.
Gave it a 9 out of 10.
Of being I was scared reading this book. When the little girl takes over that guy, it's like, holy shit. And when the other adult lady makes her hump that couch, it's like, this is just it was good. It was so good. I was like, you know what? I loved this issue.
You know what's funny too is they're talking to those ladies. She goes, "Oh, it's our 3rd grandkid and all this stuff." And she goes, "What about you?" or something like that. And she doesn't obviously want to do small talk. She's like, "Man, please yourself," and she makes her do that. It's also it's creepy, but also in a way it makes you laugh a little bit. It kind of makes you laugh in the same way that Negan, he's very unpredictable and cruel and scary guy, but he's still a little bit of a dick.
He acts like your best friend.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a dick, and she was like a dick in that moment where it made me laugh.
But even the boss lady comes in and goes, "Hey, you're drawing attention. Stop it."
Right.
So they fix it. It was I loved this issue. It was so good.
Yeah, I might give it a 10 too. I just said there's no weak things in there, all strong scenes. So we'll do that. Good stuff. Greg Rucka needs. I don't know. He's writing 2 of our favorite books, but I feel like he should be writing more.
I'm trying to figure out why you keep picking up the book and then throwing it back at me.
I've been doing it for all the books. Throw them in the middle. That's what I'm doing.
It's going to get bends in them soon. It's going to bug me.
Next, we have Sherlock Frankenstein and the Legion of Evil, number 4, written by Jeff Lemire, with art by David Rubin. Is Dave Stewart doing the colors? Or is it still Rubin?
I remember.
I don't know. Get close enough. The conclusion of the first mini-series for Black Hammer.
Yeah.
And I was so worried that this book was not going to do anything. It blew my mind.
Really?
It was like the origin of Sherlock Frankenstein. I loved every bit.
I was actually kind of disappointed in this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man,
This just is a lot. This is one of those books that had a lot of words, and I was just like, oh, okay.
but it has a lot of like reasonings behind Sherlock Frankenstein's like what he's done his whole life, and we were kind of getting a general idea of the picture, but like he actually filled in all the dots. Obviously, or he connected all the dots that we were hinting at. But it was everything we were just assuming. And so now we get to finally know, like, knowing his backstory with Golden Gale and, like, his age, like, going through each age of heroes. I think I, like, instantly, like, the first 3 issues he's not really in the book. He's just talked about. And then this one, I was like, God, I wish I had 4 issues of this, not 3 issues of talking about a guy we don't know anything about.
Oh, see, I liked the prior 3 issues because it made me like that almost none of the bad guys are bad guys.
Yeah.
They all are just people who got caught up into something else. And even Sherlock isn't a bad guy. He's just fell in love, lost his love.
He's Mr. Freeze.
Went berserk,
That's
found
what
a
he
new
is.
love. And,
It is Dave Stewart on colors, by the way.
Nice.
I thought the art was really strong in this issue.
Oh,
Like,
so good.
I think out of the 4, this is the best looking issue. And I did like this issue a lot, but I did like the 3 prior more than this one, but it wasn't like, it's kind of like when you have all 10s and then you get a 9, right? For me, at least, I'm like, I know this one I don't enjoy as much as those ones, but it's very good. I liked his origin, but it basically is Mr. Freeze.
yeah.
He can't cure his wife, and then his wife passes away, and then turns bad. But I did like that he turns around and says to Lucy, was like, I'm going to do anything I can to help you. I don't believe you. Or I don't have to say
believe that you believe it.
I believe in you, but I don't believe that actually happened. But whatever you need, we're going to figure this out. And like you said, what's the point? In the forecast, you were like, what's the point of this series? We need some sort of point. And I think that's the point. Now we're learning, how did Lucy get the resources to find Black Hammer? Like, how did that happen? And so that's what that was. And also it sounds like, I didn't have this here. It also sounds like maybe we're going to get more of that story, because it says more. It says to be continued at the end instead of saying the end.
I know it said the end, question mark.
Oh, the end, question mark. That's right.
Yeah.
So it makes me think that maybe in this other miniseries or in the Age of, what's the new Black Hammer 2 called? Age of,
I don't remember.
it's called the Age of something. Age of Doom. In the Age of Doom, that we might get more to this story. So it's not even like,
Right.
it's like, here's what you need to know. There was enough information, like you said, about filling in the world. Like the world was more realized now.
Yeah.
Or this world that we never got to know because they were not able to get back to it. So at least that world I know now. And like you said, there was some character motivation. We know Sherlock Frankenstein's also looking for somebody, but he gave up. And Lucy did not give up. So, but he believes so much in Lucy. He's like, I believe in you. Let's figure
obviously
this out.
there was success because Lucy came over to where
He did. Now I want to go
there.
back and read it. Did she tell him, hey, Sherlock said,
no, because remember when she shows up at first, she is like, she forgets everything. When she
she
comes
did?
in right away, she has to start remembering things.
oh, okay, so we'll
So
get
she
that
probably
too.
forgot. And then I'm sure it's going to pop up in Black Hammer 2. Like,
Maybe, yeah.
that Sherlock
And then
Holmes
we'll
sent
get-
me in.
we'll get
and
more of
then
that story,
Golden
too.
Gale, Yep. we'll
Yep.
get all
No,
that.
not Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Frankenstein.
Whatever.
No, there's a difference.
There is a difference, but you need him Sherlock for a reason.
Smartest man.
But I loved his partner's name, Igor Watson.
Yeah,
Made me laugh.
that's pretty funny.
It was strong. 9, like I said. Good.
I gave it a 10. I thought it was the best issue of the
I thought the
series.
art was really strong. The best looking issue.
This is an 8. It was good, but
I did like in the back. I don't know, this doesn't pertain to you guys, but David Rubin was talking about, or like they were promoting that Ether 2 might be coming out soon. It's like, fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah?
so was it the first 5 issues, 6 issues,
5.
and then it took a break, or is that a
I don't know
self-contained
if I
story?
call it a break. It's more like just stop coming out.
Is that Matt Kent?
Yeah,
Yep, Matt Kent and David Rubin.
They
on
also
there.
had a preview for the next one, but I didn't read it.
I didn't read it. I
read
said
it.
we're gonna get it. I'll read it.
Yeah, I was
then.
going to say, I'm.
But sometimes they do those things and it's not in that book. I mean, most times it is.
Then I'll read it later.
But I just think of like Umbrella Academy. I've read some previews where like a couple of the pages aren't actually in there.
Oh. I never got through that, so I don't know.
The what?
Umbrella Academy I read as a trade. I didn't read it.
No, those things. I know we read at the trade. Those bonus things. Those were preview
The free
books.
comic book day thing.
Those are free comic book day.
What?
Those are free comic book day stuff.
I have those.
Right. That's what I mean. There's
Or have that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
But usually my rule is if I'm going to get a book, I don't read the preview. So like the Turfix has been in a lot of books. I haven't looked at it. Looks great though.
Oh, I just ignore them.
It's not coming out for
If I'm
5
not going to
years
get the book, I
anyways.
read to see. It seemed interesting to me. And most of the time, no, not really. Alex,
Yo.
it's my turn. No, it's your turn.
No, it's my turn.
Let's go.
Thanos, number 15, written by Donnie Cates, art by Jeff Shaw. You know what? Putting this up. What?
No, say it.
I'll tell you what. Is that what you wanted?
No, now the next line.
I love this book. I really do love this issue.
How is it possible? Let me ask you this question because I was curious.
Riddle me this.
I was reading this issue and my mind got blown, obviously, this great issue. But I was wondering, is it possible for a book to keep getting better?
I'm impressed because the last issue was just top notch. And I got into this book, and the first little bit of it was a lot of when you look at the pennant, when what's his name? Ghost Rider does the pennant stare to you.
Yeah.
What everyone should be experiencing is pain and suffering. You should be recalling your worst sins.
Yeah.
And then you turn the page, and he goes, for Thanos, it's his favorite memories.
Yeah.
I'm like, you sick fucker.
It's showing Thanos like all the shit he's done wrong in life and all the pain and suffering that he's had. And he's like smiling, be like, oh, those were the good times. And it's like, come on, Thanos. Idea, because usually when you get a book, it's either like, oh man, this is consistently good, or kind of like, oh, the first one was good, and eventually this one, first one started at 10, it's going up more.
I'd say if our rating system had more than, it's been 10, 10, 10. This is
it's 10, but in my mind, it's going up a little bit.
Oh, it really is, because it builds on what we've already established, and there's something that old man Thanos is in a temple. He's in something of death, right?
Yeah.
Like her courtroom or her
I don't know if they really explained it, but
memory, a place that he holds sacred to her.
He's somewhere where there's a seat at the table that he keeps for her because young Thanos was going to sit there, and old Thanos was like, don't you fucking sit in that chair. That's not your chair. And then young Thanos is like, oh, whose chair is it? Looks and sees a dead rose and was like, oh, okay. He's like, where is she at? And old Thanos is like, I don't know. And he's like, don't lie to me. If you don't what do you mean you don't know? How are we going to do this thing? And then they explain, he's like, no, you're not here to find her. You're here to help me kill somebody. And he goes, who? And he goes, the fallen one. And so the whole issue, you're like, who's this fallen one?
Yep. To be fair, I thought it was actually going to be Thanos. Old man Thanos brought young man Thanos to kill young man Thanos, thinking, of course, the only person you can't kill is you.
Yourself, yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I want the best way. But then I realized he even makes mention to it. I can't kill you. I don't want to kill you because I'd kill me.
Yeah.
But the thing that really made me happy is that young Thanos is mouthing off about stuff, and old man steps up going, dude, you can disrespect me anywhere else, but you do not disrespect me right here.
He was putting on his armor too. He's like, not when I'm in this room. And he was in the throne room for death. He goes, not in this room when I'm putting on my armor. You don't disrespect me. He goes, I'll throw you out of here right now.
I'll kill you right here.
I'll kill you right here. And I was just like, because you can tell, like, old Thanos is definitely way stronger than young Thanos. Mm-hmm. But young Thanos has way more ambition and is more reckless, and that's why he goes off like that. But when old Thanos puts his fist down, he's like, you want to die today?
I will kill you.
And you can tell young Thanos like,
kill himself.
All right, boy.
But yeah, but that's how much he cares about death and how much respect she deserves. Is I don't give a shit about me. I will kill you if it kills me.
You do Sepia. What's it called?
Let's do this. Sepia.
So the whole time you're like, who's this fallen one? Obviously, old man Thanos is scared of him. And we saw in issue one, not issue one, but issue one of this arc that he's killed everybody. They showed you everybody he's killed. So you're like, who is this? Who could be left? We saw him kill everybody. They showed Galactus. They showed Celestials. Like, he killed everybody. And even he says, he goes, the Celestial. And he goes, no, buddy. And
and they even make reference to it.
We'll get to that in a second. Let's talk about, there's a part also before that where on the cover they do have Hulk, so we know it's coming. But when they go down to where they're keeping Hulk, the art in that section, first off, the first couple of pages when they're doing the pennants, awesome art.
Yes.
And then we go down to where they're keeping Hulk, and just like the detail and like the way that room looks, you're like, of course he's in that room, like everything's destroyed. Obviously, you have a dog Hulk. He's not going to be not destructive.
Yeah. Every question he has is Hulk kill?
Yeah. He's like, kill? And he's like, no, don't kill him.
No, not this one.
Don't kill Thanos.
Is it supposed to be Bruce Banner Hulk?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And Ghost Rider is basically in charge of feeding Hulk, and so he's feeding him. And he's telling a story. He's like, man, when Captain America was down here, we fed him the Hulk. The things he said, you wouldn't believe. And he's
Rogers.
Like, yeah. So Thanos is like, what? So he's catching up young Thanos on what's happened so far. And he goes, do I know you? And he goes, yeah. And then what did he say?
I used to be dark and brooding and angry, and I used to do a lot of mean things. Then eventually you get sick of yourself. Eventually you just go hysterically crazy.
Yeah. So we're thinking, at least we both, I mean, you said before the show started, and I do agree. I read that and I was like, oh, that's Johnny. He's talking about Johnny. And then it reveals he's like, oh, I'm Frank Castle.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And I'm like, oh, it's Punisher.
Holy shit.
As soon as I found out that was Frank Castle, I'm like, oof. I don't feel 100% need to go get it back in issues. I'll wait for it.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna read it, but I was gonna. If it was Johnny Blaze, I would have definitely jumped in.
Oh, dude, this made me like it more to know that even the Punisher has a breaking point that he's gonna turn Deadpool crazy.
And then even like he's a spirit of vengeance. So Punisher becomes the spirit of vengeance and goes and becomes a herald. So like all that is interesting backstory. Like I don't need to be shown it, but now that he's mentioned it, it's kind of like, oh, it adds to a character, so this mysterious kind of vibe, and you're like, oh, okay, this guy's cool, really cool now. And that's obviously not Frank Castle we've seen before. He's like super jokey, but now it's like, oh, okay, this is because he's crazy, so it makes sense.
Well, like, sorry, in the beginning when you're watching young Thanos look at the pen and stare, it's Thanos is holding Ghost Rider's head, like Hamlet, looking at it. Yeah. And when he gets done looking at it, going, God, those are good memories, just throws it behind him.
There's like people like he's killed and severed heads on pikes and planets being destroyed. He's like, oh, and you turn the page and he's just like, good times.
Giant ass grin.
So we get to the end. He's saying, hey, you got to help me fight the follow one. They feel him coming. Old Thanos goes, puts on his armor, gets the sword. What's the sword called?
The Suture Sword.
And it's the amount of, what is it? Anger you feel in yourself?
Well, yes.
Temper. I see my temper burns as ever in my doddering old age. So the more temper you have, the more fire is on the sword. And young Thanos obviously is like, doesn't he? He's like, all right, where's this guy at? And old man Thanos puts on this full suit of armor. He's like, okay, let's get ready. He's coming. He's like, and like I said, they were saying Celestial. And he's like, no, not Celestial. The fallen one is not a person; it's a title. Cuts to the end. Silver Surfer, baby. Here we go.
That's pretty fucking cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All like dark matter.
And bringing monsters with them.
Bringing monsters with him. Looks like we have Annihilus, and there's a bunch of shit behind him. But it's just like the art. This whole book is fucking great, dude. It's like, and when he's coming to, like there's like windows getting blown out. It's going vroom vroom, and it's like shit's getting blown down.
So you're still telling me that a Silver Surfer movie wouldn't be cool?
I'd tell you what, if they made Silver Surfer the Fallen one, holy shit.
You know who would enjoy this book? John Runyon. You got a dark Silver Surfer, dark matter surfer. That's the guy you're gonna like. This book is amazing.
Yes.
And imagine, like, I only give it a chance because obviously we love Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw. God Country I thought was great. I just needed more of it. And I feel like this is that, you know what I mean? But I get more of it. And plus, like, Thanos is great in this book.
If this book had been the 3 issues it's in right now, this would be on my top 5.
Yeah.
Because I read this and I actually made this my last issue knowing that, 1, I'm going to enjoy it. 2, there's no way I'm going to be sleepy from reading it. I cannot get enough of this series.
Out of all the books here, this is my favorite this week. But it also be going into it. This is the one I was most excited to read. Was Thanos.
Agreed.
And it did, like I said, each issue gets better.
Sway me, you bastard.
Each issue gets better, and for me to be like, this can be my favorite issue, and still when I'm done with it, I'm like, you know, it's better than I thought it was going to be.
Garrett, I know you're trying to be strong and be like, I don't want to find them in issues. I really think, and this is the crazy part, buy these fuckers.
Just do it.
I would.
I almost like when you left the shop on Wednesday morning. I was like sitting there for like 2 minutes. I'm just like, do Do I go in and get that and then go order the first 2 issues online?
I feel like I should like buy these issues and anybody like another set and anybody who was like, hey, what do I get into comics? Be like, read these. Because the art's great, and it's not. There's a lot of like even like the panel work is when you get a full 2-page spread like this, like you know how to read it. Like it's these Jeff Shaw and Donny Cates are great storytellers. Like they know how to set up this book. They're not. It's not hard to read, and they're not trying to do something super complicated. It's just, I mean, look at this. That's the whole thing. It's good, and it feels like that. I'm just, I'm not one for in this book and on this show just to be like, man, it's so great. But I'm lost for words. This thing's I'm so surprised.
I get paid tomorrow, so
I'm not necessarily.
Maybe I'll see if it's available. If it's not, maybe I'll read it digitally. Maybe I'll do a Marvin on this book.
That book would be great in digital. If we look, the colors would pop on that thing.
I think it's just one of those books that I know you think you want to wait and you can read it for free somewhere else. But in all honesty, do the digital thing then and read this and keep caught up with us because I think you'd have a lot to say. And you're gonna come back and go, man, that was like Deadly Class or Black Magic all over again. Yeah. I can't believe you guys
bastards.
Here's the thing too, also, is that we were talking about earlier. I'm not a man on whole full action book, and even though there's a lot of action in that book and the art looks great, there's a lot of small stuff that also is great. There's humor. There's those moments like in the last issue where we learn about Thanos' birth and his mother, the relationship they have, where it brings like a little dramatic moment, and all around. The book is great. So if you're like, I'm not a fan of Thanos, I don't want to see him just punch people in the face. It's more than that. It's more than that. And I would say now there was a thing here. Remember Jim Starlin left Marvel because he said that
any credit for.
Well, he was also mad they were going to do something to Thanos that he didn't get the chance to do, and they're going to give it to somebody else. I think it was because the Thanos mom thing. We find out his real name instead of being Thanos. I think that might have been it. But it doesn't ever feel like to me, and I do like Jim Starlin a lot, doesn't feel like it's in any way trying to change a character for changing things' sake. Like that felt like it was a necessary layer to Thanos' character being like, oh, okay, so he never felt loved, and that's the reason why like it's so hard. Like that's the reason why he's so evil. Like from birth, his mother was like, oh, what's this shit?
What's this monster?
I was going to name you a real name, but now I think it's Thanos, and now I don't want you.
Yeah.
And great. I love it a lot. Thanos wins. That's the arc title. So get that. Starting with issue what? What issue to start?
13.
13, 14, 15.
14. I tell you what, the most solid 10 I've ever given a book.
Yeah, me too.
Are you telling us that?
It's a statement.
I don't know about
most
any
solid
book.
10.
Definitely for Marvel in the last couple of years, most 10 I've given a book.
How about, okay, I'll agree. Highest Marvel rating I've given.
It's definitely the best Marvel book right now. So if you're looking to jump in this legacy thing, this is the book to get.
I say this even beats out Hawkeye.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh. I think mainly because I do like Hawkeye's art, but it's kind of simplistic. There's something about Jeff Shaw's art in here, and also with, who does the colors? Fabiella?
Yeah.
This thing pops, baby. Like I said, if you got that in digital, guy looks like I showed you that second page. You can't not look at that and be like, I mean,
well, even the detail on Ghost Rider's face is
I was
great.
saying, even that first page, you're like looking at it for a while, and then all it is his skull face, but it draws you in.
I think Jeff Shaw actually draws my favorite Thanos.
Yeah, I like him.
He's got. It's not like not Dodderman. Oh shit! Who's doing the art for Old Man Logan?
Deodato.
Yeah, when he was doing the Thanos art from the first book with Jeff Lemire. Yeah, it was good, but it's a lot more scratchy. This is just, it's so nice to look at. And like you said, the colors, superb.
Good stuff. My turn?
Yes.
Marvel 2-in-1 thing. I like how I made up this new structure of us going reviews. And
you're the fuckhead who can't remember what order we're in?
Marvel 2-in-1, this is a thing in the Human Torch, number 2, Fate of the Four. A lot of numbers here. Marvel 2-in-1, Fate of the Four, number 2.
The Human Torch and the Thing.
By the way, let me just start this off before we get into this review. This is man, if they would have told me that Doctor Doom was going to be in this thing, I would have been in before. Remember, I just tried out, be like, hey, maybe I'll try it out. I would have been full in right away. All
That's what
in,
I was
baby.
saying in the forecast. They did not give this book enough publicity.
Which I appreciate, though. Let you find out this book is good instead of building it up too much.
But this is like a Fantastic Four book that you've been, almost wanting. Almost wanted.
That's the thing you got to tiptoe, though, if you're at that company, is like, do you give enough away where like you say Doctor's going to be in here, or do you leave it for surprise? And it was a nice surprise for me to be like, Doctor Doom, too? And it kind of is going off of what happened in the infamous Iron Man thing, where these the Thing and Iron
they still hate each other.
They hate each other. He's still in the same outfit, Dr. Doom is, and they were fighting each other for a while. This is definitely, if you're looking for a Fantastic Four book, this is it. Like, make no mistake. It's called Marvel 2-in-1 and Human Torch and the Thing, but in the last issue, they were like, Reed was like, no, you got to continue on. I'm gone, but Johnny's still there. And then he wasn't in this issue. He sees Sue. Or was it the last one? It was the last one.
No, it was the last one.
Where Sue was like, we remember from Secret Wars, which I actually forgot. She made him promise, being like, take care of Johnny. He's like, I'll take care of him. And in the first issue, he's like, I don't want to do anything with Johnny. And he remembers that. And I was just like, man, this guy, it's funny. And also, like I said in the forecast, dramatic, just funny, everything I wanted from this kind of book.
The Reed flashback with them picking on Victor Von Doof.
Yep.
That was really cool. And it's kind of fun. Like it puts a little added mythos to every single like action scene, because there's a look that Reed gives Ben because they pulled a prank on Victor, and so that's kind of cool. That obviously that's not it was made up for this story, but it's kind of cool to think back on it. Like how many times they fought Doom. Like to think that they had a little inside joke the whole time. That's really fun, and it makes you think about that team. Like that's just what I don't get about Marvel is like, why don't you spotlight the things that make, I know that fans have had a chance to deal with those characters, and like this is a great way to start easing them back in if they do come back, but man, I think it's just missed opportunity to have that team in its full force.
But I do want them to make the opportunity to not bring them right away.
Yeah.
Let's let Thing and Human Torch be together for 10 issues even.
Yeah.
And then you can find a way to bring them back in.
I know that part's going to suck because they're going to be back, they'll be evil, and then you got to redeem them, and then they'll be good. It'll take like 2 years for them to be back.
I hope that when they do bring them, they're not bad. I hope it's just like they're so grateful and so we're back. And maybe they have a little harder time getting back into being Fantastic Four. But I love the dynamic between the Thing and the Human Torch. I think they're brothers.
And I think I'm kind of on to like the fact that, how Johnny, it's in the book, it's explaining that he's losing his ability to use his flames. But have you noticed any times that it's suffered is any time he brings up Reed or Sue? Mm-hmm. So I think that's cool. Like, that's cool that they didn't flat out say, anytime I think about Reed and Sue, like I start losing my powers. It's like he literally said, like he's full flamed on. He says their names and then he starts to fade. Yep. And like, because he's like, let's go do this. Like Reed and Sue. And then like he's like saying a sentence and then he's like, his powers are fading off. And he's like, what the why? He's not understanding that. He hasn't really come to terms with the fact that they're not there.
The art's great in this issue. I was just looking at the colorists because the colors I thought were great. It's by Frank Morton, who was doing colors for, I think he was doing it for Black Science for a while. So it kind of looks like that a little bit. But I like there's flashbacks and there's the main story, and I do like the coloring change. It's good because remember I was saying, I forgot what book it was, where they would switch in between. You're like, what's going on? Like, is that the past? Which, it's easy to tell from context, but I do like when they give us that. Did you you were talking about how Marvel, how come they don't have a Fantastic Four book right now? At the beginning when Johnny's like, man, they're still making the Fantastic Four book, comic book. They really should be making it. Sue and Reed aren't here anymore. That's kind of disrespectful. I thought that was Chip's way of being like, I'm going to address this issue while there's no Fantastic Four book right now. Yeah. So this is a way of being like,
it was pretty meta.
It kind of bugged me that we almost broke the fourth wall to an extent, but I guess in their world, comic books would be legitimate too. They'd be real things.
Yeah.
One of my favorite characters from this book that was barely in it was Goognam. Looks fucking cool.
I don't know who that character is.
I don't either, but give me like a Funko Pop of that guy like right now. Like it's
weird that I don't think he looks cool. I think he looks like a big mouth bass with a body.
So
he's been in Fantastic Four stuff before. He's a monster, and he's from that Monster Island book that was coming out. Jim Zub was doing.
Oh, Monster Unleashed.
Yep. I do like it. It's like a fun book, and it's what I need. Right, it's the book I was looking for.
Yeah. I gave this a 9. Wasn't quite a 10 for me.
But I mean, you got some cool mythos. You got Mole Man. I mean, isn't that the first person that the Fantastic Four ever fought was Mole Man?
That's why he goes there. He's like, our first mission.
Right.
But then he's really talking about in college, his first mission. I thought it was really strong. Art's good. Story was good. Nothing super.
I gave it a 9 as well.
Yeah, 9's strong for me. There's something about it I can't pull around to a 10, even though I enjoyed it a lot. And I wouldn't say, I don't think there's anything in there. Actually, there is one thing I don't enjoy. That I do like the back. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the Doctor Doom backstory about the college thing, but I also don't like when they make them that they knew each other in college. I don't like that. It's fake shit. But,
that Victor Von Doom and Reed knew each other.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's fine that like Ben and obviously Reed.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
they
true.
were friends.
That's true. But the other thing. But yeah, it's good stuff. I'm into this thing. Like, I'm not going to drop it. This is what I wanted. I am excited to see, like you were saying, let's bring him back. I do want to see Johnny and Thing for a while. I'm
not saying bring him back, but it's going to be weighed down by that eventually.
Yeah, that is definitely the end game. It better be. Yeah. But I mean, give me a couple of years of them just doing whatever and then bring him back. Hopefully not bad, because I hate when they the Fantastic Four has always been the good team. It's always been like the family unit. And I hate when they try to be like, oh, that's boring. Same thing like Superman. They're like, that's boring. He's got to be bad, right? No, he's supposed to be the good, wholesome, original team.
What about when Johnny finds out the Thing lied to him?
What?
About the fact that Sue and Reed are still alive, which he doesn't know for sure.
Nah.
He's feeling guilt throughout the whole issue. With that,
yeah, but like Thing says, the matchstick isn't going to hurt him. He's rocks. So he'll be fine. He'll just punch the shit out of him.
Marvel 201. Is this a bi-weekly book?
No, this is a monthly.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought the other one came out recently, 2 weeks ago.
Nope.
You sure? 100%?
100.
All right.
Hundo.
Garrett, tell us what the next book is, and we'll look this shit up.
Doomsday Clock, number 3 of 12, written by Jeff Johns with art by Gary Frank. Pretty sure he does his own colors too.
I'm
not sure. I can't find the.
There's a number 1 character in this book called the Mime.
You finally get to see him use his mime pistol.
And his mime knives.
Yes. And Marionette gets out her little string, and
now hers is a legitimate string in her hand, right? Okay,
right. It's not like a mime string.
Because in this, I know in the first time we see it, I think it's issue 2. It is a black string. You can see that she's using.
Hitman uses the wire.
A garrote is what I think.
Yeah, right. Garrote. That's right.
And so this one, it looked, because you just gotten done seeing the mime pull out his weapons, and then she does this with her hands. I thought hers was a legitimate, an actual weapon, and it is, but.
And that scene was like really cool in a lot of different ways. Like the fact that's in Joker's bar. This is at the very end of the issue, by the way. The fight scene that Alex is referring to. When they're in Joker's like gang bar, basically, and Mime and Marionette kill Joker's entire gang. So obviously that's going to have repercussions coming up here pretty quick. So Joker versus Mime / Marionette. I'm excited for that when that eventually happens.
My money's on Mime.
Yeah. The book opens though with the comedian fighting Vite. Yeah, fighting Ozymandias. I don't fucking care.
Whatever.
Actually, it also before that starts with, we see that Dr. Manhattan brought back the comedian. Basically, he's falling from the window, makes him fall into the ocean instead, saves him.
Right.
And then was like, oh, I'm going to use you. So we do know for sure Dr. Manhattan is the puppet master. He's using certain people, changing things that happened. And very curious to see where that goes. Also very curious to see where it goes now that the comedian's still alive. So basically, you've changed the timeline of that original universe, brought him to DC Universe, and who knows why? Like, why is Dr. Manhattan like, hey, I get any comedian for the DC Universe? Like, for what reason, though? You know, he's always
I think he's just
right?
to stir the pot.
I think Manhattan feels guilt because him dying is the little, like the catalyst that ruins everything, basically.
Yeah, I guess so.
Does comedian have super strength, or is he's a Punisher kind of character?
I think he's got some strength on him. Like when he was fighting Vite, like he was. I mean,
I think that, but it's like Batman though. Like he just trains enough that he can throw shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Dr. Manhattan's the first one to get powers because that's the reason why he's so special. Everybody else is just normal.
Well, Ozymandias, I thought, had super strength.
No,
or is he just trained to physical perfection?
Batman. He's like Batman, yeah.
Well, then, yeah,
So everybody's like Batman in this book, except for...
I think Comedian's more like Punisher, like you said.
Okay.
Comedian's beating Vite within an inch of his life, and then Vite like runs away like a little girl. Gets
Well,
his
his
little red puppy.
He got shot, the ricochet off the unbreakable glass, and then shot him in the forehead.
That's true. And then Lex Luthor's bleeding out on the floor.
Dude, I don't know what happened to him. I don't remember him getting...
He got shot. He got shot.
I know he got shot in the shoulder.
Yep.
That's a lot of blood to be spewing
I know.
out. That dude's going to be unconscious soon.
I liked when they were fighting. Like,
that was
like splashes of his blood were just splattering all over us.
Well, that's when you watch Ozymandias steps in the blood as he's doing a hi-ya.
Right.
He shot off the Magnum. That's why he goes away.
Of course. That's what I use.
We get...
Is that a big gun? I expect the gun. Okay.
After that, we get Batman interacting with Rorschach.
New daddy. New
Reggie.
Rorschach. New daddy.
Reggie.
Whoa.
Hey, you confirming my theory, Marvin?
So reason Big Daddy was in my head.
Reggie Rorschach. Well, Batman and him are trying to locate Dr. Manhattan, and Rorschach gives Batman Rorschach like original
Kovacs.
Walter Kovacs's original journal. And I love that page where like Rorschach's just waiting impatiently. He's like,
What page you on?
"What page you on?" He's like, 4.
I'm 4.
He's like, why don't you go get some breakfast and make yourself at home? Then he goes to Alfred and Alfred's like, hey, do you need anything? He's trying to. Do you need new clothes or
Tea?
a tea? And he's like, hey, you get more of those pancakes? It's a character that was in that universe at New York City when it blew up, but it's a new character we don't know about. I find weird. So Batman, from reading the book, was like, okay, I know where Dr. Manhattan is. Oh no, it was fake.
So he's faking it out.
That's right. I forgot about that. I was going to say
they go to Arkham Asylum.
He's had the button for a while, so you think he would have figured that out. But because he's like, I traced his signature to Arkham Asylum. Rorschach, he gets into the thing and it says, we're all crazy in here, something like that. What does it say? Look it up. It's the second last page. And he locks Rorschach in there. He's like, you belong in here. And it ends basically with Rorschach being like, don't leave me. Well, he's talking like Rorschach at first. He's like, gonna regret this. Don't leave. And then eventually he's like, don't leave me. He changes back just to,
we're all mad here.
Yeah.
What is let me see.
That's what it said on the prison wall.
Yeah.
So then we get the last page of Rorschach basically being like, wait, apologize, open door, please let me out. And then or kill you for this, cut eyes, talking in the Rorschach way. And then when he realizes Batman's not turning back, he's like, let me out of here, let me out. And he just changes back to being that guy.
No.
He breaks character because he's so scared about being in there. And I thought that was cool. That's a cool way to show that like that Rorschach thing is a character he's putting on.
No.
And he's
acting big and tough.
He doesn't fully believe in it, like enough to like stay in character the whole time. He'll break if he needs to.
So do you think, like this is totally speculation, do you think Batman set him up after I've read the whole journal because there was some piece of information he learned? Or do you think that the whole time he's like, this guy broke in my Batcave and he's going to pay for it?
Both.
I just think he doesn't trust him and he wants to get him out of the way right now.
I think, he's a not necessarily a liability, but he's a threat. But I mean, part of it, I think Bruce is a little bit not enough petty that he's like, oh, fuck you. You came in, ate my breakfast, ate those pancakes that Alfred made for me.
In my Batcave.
You can hang out in Arkham for a while. But I also think he doesn't trust him. So he needs to keep him somewhere he can know where he's at.
He doesn't trust him and he's getting him out of the way. And I think he's got enough pull at Arkham to be like, hey, you guys got room for one? I got to bring somebody over. And they're just like, okay. They're not even going to question him.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you know who belongs in here.
Yeah.
Speaking of pancakes, what do you go on pancakes? Maple?
Of course, maple.
No, you go jelly.
No.
What kind of pancakes? Regular?
Not
or
jelly, I
chocolate
mean,
chip?
I don't do chocolate chip.
Mixed berry
chocolate
syrup.
chip
I say I'd have to
pancakes.
do like blueberry muffins or blueberry muffins.
Chocolate chips, get out of here.
That's gross. I can't eat
What?
Gross.
Yeah.
Chocolate chip pancakes?
Yes.
Yeah.
You ever even
Disgusting.
tried it?
Yes.
Yeah, sick.
Bullshit.
Horrible.
Blueberries.
Blueberry pancakes I'd be fine with maple syrup
Yeah, you guys
or
like them blueberries.
Mixed berry. It's good for your mind. Helps your memory. That's why I eat them.
I think you're eating the wrong berry.
By the way, we announced on the forecast that 3 and 4 back to back, and then we got a break for 2 months. Number 5, and then after that it'll be bi-monthly. DC announced today That is not the case anymore. I mean, look how things changed from Tuesday to Sunday, or we're recording this on Thursday. The number 4 got delayed. I didn't read the article. I was done with it. I was like, it wasn't a month.
Yeah,
so
not too bad. But
maybe we'll have a break book. It'd be it's already bi-monthly now. Now it's bi-monthly.
I don't know if there's anything else we missed in this. I think that's pretty much it. New costume for Batman.
Yes, the costume. Gary Frank confirmed on Twitter. The costume that Batman has in this issue is going to be Batman's costume going forward after this stuff.
Which is kind of too bad because I really enjoyed the black bat with the outline.
Yeah, I really like.
Gold.
I agree. I think that's a good logo.
And then the purple underneath for his gloves and his.
Now we have the old kind of logo with the bat signal against the yellow. It's coming back. So, you know what? We'll see.
Which is fine. I mean, I like that too. It's
all going to depend on how other people do it. Once Gary Frank's done with that costume, you know what I mean?
Oh, we didn't talk about Thunder from JSA.
Oh yeah,
there was the JSA part where he's flashbacking to some of what's his face's movies. They have the whole back part about it. Carver Coleman, and he was playing a character called
Nathaniel Dusk.
Yep, Nathaniel Dusk. I thought that was really cool. Like, Thunder is like pining after his family not ever showing up, and his family is the JSA. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, that's what I was assuming he was like longing after.
Is that the first kind of crossover we've had with the DC Rebirth special?
No.
Did they mention the JSA in the first 2 issues of Doomsday?
I'm confused what you're saying.
What are the JSA? I mean, just
Society of America.
Okay, but why are they so important to this?
Do you remember in DC?
We don't know yet.
The DC Rebirth, they showed us this.
Right, this place.
This place.
Yeah, and it was like,
oh no, this in the first issue of Doomsday they showed him. Never mind.
Yeah, so it just flashes back because like, what I'm paralleling is that he's missing the team of the JSA.
Oh, can I say this? Theodore Roosevelt quote is fucking awesome. I thought it was awesome. For far better is it to dare mighty things, to do glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to rank those poor spirits who neither enjoy nor suffer much, because they live in a gray twilight that knows not victory nor defeat. And I was like, isn't that Batman to the core? It's like, you'd rather put it all out there and fail than never doing anything because you're too scared. And I mean, I guess that's everybody in this book right now. It's like they're going to this universe. Veet's like, we're going to figure this out. And Batman that's Batman's character, basically. He's like, no, I'm doing everything I can. Like you said, he's a peak of human. He got over his parents' grief. Instead of them dying in that alley and him being like, I guess this is my life, he's like, I'm going to make sure this never happens again to anybody. And rather than being like, what if I fail, though? He's like, no, I'm going to try as hard as I can. It's better for me to try and fail than to sit here and be sorry for myself. So,
did you guys read the Carver Coleman backup part? I did. It's really awesome. Like, I don't know if he's an actual person or if he's fake for just the story, but it made me believe that he's like a real person that lived like throughout the 30s, 40s, 50s. Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's cool that it's paralleling because, like when we had a Watchmen, there was the pirate story. So I don't know if this will be kind of the background thing throughout the whole series, which is cool. I like that.
Solid 9 for me.
I give it a 10. I can't help myself. My excitement level goes through the roof. Just showing the comedian, showing that fight with Mime and Marionette. I mean, there's just so many things that like I couldn't have asked for anything more.
I think I sided with the 10 for the fact that fight scene was so good.
Yeah.
And with comedians showing up was a nice little reminder that in comics, no one dies forever.
And that's the joke.
And he never even died.
That's the joke.
By the way, DC pulled a PR snafu today, speaking of Doomsday Clock. So, Doomsday Clock is a real thing in real life that we have. The government has to be like how close we are to the apocalypse. And today they moved it forward 30 seconds. And people were like freaking out about it. But they're like, hey, things aren't good in the world. So they moved it forward 30 seconds. DC, for some reason, or whoever runs that Twitter account, found it upon themselves to be like, that's a good PR thing we could do. So they said, hey, worried about the real Doomsday Clock? Take Your Mind Off It and read Doomsday Clock number 3 out today. And immediately got deleted off Twitter, but I'm pretty sure somebody lost their job today.
Oh, I'm probably.
That is dumbassery.
Who saw that and was like, let's tie that in with the comic book. Yeah. Let's tie in Nuclear Apocalypse with an issue of Batman. Well, not Batman, but he's in the comic.
I will say this week, nothing dipped below an 8 for me. I thought it was a great week.
Solid
Great
week.
books.
It was a really good week.
The weakest one for me, just because there's a lot of stuff going on, was Wildstorm, and even that I enjoyed.
Weakest one for me would have been
Sherlock.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Sherlock.
got it. And for you?
The weakest one?
Aquaman.
Thanos. Not kidding. Yeah, Aquaman. Oof.
Not like in Thanos' like fighting words over here.
I would say Wildstorm as well. It was just a little more wordy and like not. I mean, I like the combination of a good story and art, not just storied like writing, putting speech all over that art. So
Yeah, it's when you watch or read a lot, especially this week, like a lot of these books were really quick to read, but Wildstorm took a long time. So it just feels a little off.
It felt like a lot of hand holding to like explain the story, where there could have been a little more subtle ways to inform us of that.
If you're looking for a book that you feel like it's worth the money, Wildstorm. It's very dense. You can read that thing like 15 times probably. And I'm saying I do. I don't got that kind of time. I'm just saying you can.
Those 25 minutes.
Those are the comics for this week. For Doomsday Clock number 3 of 12. Marvel 2-in-1 number 2. Fate of the Four. That's what it's called. Thanos number 15. Wildstorm number 11. Sherlock and Frankenstein and the what's it called?
Legion of Evil.
Legion of Evil number 4 of 4. That's over. Adios. And also Black Magic number 10. Is that correct?
That was good. Way to go.
That's
the blueberries
those
are
are the
working.
blueberries. Yeah, they're working.
Mixed nuts.
Nice.
All berries.
Do you guys go pancakes or waffles?
Ooh, that's toss up.
Waffles.
I think I'd say waffles for the fact they don't soak up that syrup as fast.
Lego my ego.
Because I have to eat my pancakes right away when they come out.
Here's my answer. I've never almost suffocated on waffles, so not good. Those pancakes, you wolf them down,
You
almost
ain't eating
dead.
the right waffles.
That's how you know they're good, is when you choke on them.
Every time I eat pancakes, I'm like, might die today. It's a good day. SuperCon 2018, the return of the con, September 28th, 29th, and 30th. Featuring guests like Tony Fleece, Shay Fontana, Science Steve, and brought to you by Wednesday Comics, Phil Hester. Phil Hester is an Eisner Award-winning comic book artist. Phil is from Iowa. He's known for his runs on Nightwing, The Flash, Season 0, Teen Titans, and many more. He's currently drawing Batman Beyond for DC and Shipwreck for Aftershock. Wednesday Comics is proud to present Phil Hester at SuperCon. Go to supercon.com for more information. We played a little game today. We're not going to call it a game. It's not a game here. This is real life. This is a little segment we call the Comic Book Court. It's what? It's a game where we bring some cases to the court and we argue them. We all proceed as a judge, and while we proceed as a judge, the other two will argue a case, and the judge will pick who is each side. By the way, Comic Book Court in session. Oh, fucking ad. Comic Book Court is going to be in session. Me and Garrett have our case. Did you decide your case?
I've got a case.
You
for
got
you
a case?
guys.
Oh, here we go. Put a little bet on this thing. This is
What did I just step on?
the Comic Book Court, baby. Let's get into it. To my left, we have Alex. He is the defendant from northern Nebraska. Alex, how you doing?
No, pretty good. Thank you, sir.
And to our right, we have
get
Garrett, the junior prosecutor from South Florida. How you doing?
Florida.
And I am your judge for this case. I'm going to go first. I don't know why. I just segued right into it, baby. That's how I was feeling it. Got a case for you today. It's very serious. And we got a one later about some. We'll tease it. But this one right here, I got a very serious one. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Last week? A couple weeks ago. Nope, we didn't talk about it even on the show.
I don't even know your case. So.
I don't remember.
I can't even say we talked about it on the show. We talked about it before the show. By the way, one day we will record where we do a little behind the scenes thing for you guys. Before the show, sometimes we talk about stuff for a while. We talked about, here's the thing. I'll give you a little setup so you remember.
So what's
This
the
has all
thing?
been set up. Like, just fucking say it.
This is my damn courtroom. I will kick you out.
Yeah, and everyone's falling asleep over here.
So there's an argument between reading something when it is completed versus reading it monthly. I've heard from a lot of people the reason why they don't read comic books, at least in issue form, is they don't feel like reading one issue of the story at a time and having to wait for the thing to be completed. Whereas other people are like, and they want to wait for, Why the Last Man to be done, and then they'll buy the whole thing. Wait for Doomsday Clock to be done, 12 out of 12, and then they'll buy the whole thing as a trade. So trade waiting. But is there a case for reading it month to month? What are the benefits? Do you read it month to month? Which one's better? Or trade waiting? So that's where we're arguing today. To my left, the prosecutor from Northern Nebraska, Alex.
I'm the defendant.
Oh, defendant. Sorry. You guys, do you switch around on me?
Just letting you know. Defending.
Defendant, you are going to be defending buying month to month. And let me know why it's better to buy comics and issues. And then when you're done, Garrett will have a minute to rebut.
A minute?
But the weird thing is that the prosecutor usually starts, right?
No, I don't think so. Not in my court. God damn it.
Okay, just making sure, because I'm pretty sure the prosecutor starts and the defender, defends.
You guys are really trying hard today to be in contempt. I'll tell you what, my
I want you guys to meet Rorschach over here in between characters.
Reggie Rorschach.
My courtroom, I do not deal with this kind of attitude.
How long do I have to talk? Just as long as I want.
You have 2 minutes for your arguments. Once you're done, Garrett has a minute to... No, that's not how it works.
I get equal time?
It used to be like 5 minutes to actually talk, but it won't take me 5 minutes to tell.
Why don't we each get even amount of time?
4. You do.
2.
Do you know how this works?
2, 1.
Yeah, do you know how this works?
I know,
We've done
I'm
this a million
rebutting.
times.
I know.
4, you rebut what he says for a minute, and then you say yours for 4, and then he'll rebut yours for a minute.
Then he'll choose who wins.
And then I choose who wins.
Okay.
Because you guys, you're going to have separate arguments, but I also want you to react to what he says.
To fight you.
So 4 minutes on top, Alex, you can proceed.
4 minutes, holy shit. Good afternoon, everybody of the court. We're here today to talk about comics, of course. Let's comic book court. That's what we do. But there's a time and a place for those comic books to come out, and it's Wednesday is when those books come out. And you know what comes out those days? New issues.
Of comics?
Of comics.
Oh, hold your time, buddy. That's his time.
It's just helping me out. So you know what? I'm here today to tell you guys that what's the best thing to buy when you're going to the comic book store is comics. And not just maybe a trade. You're going to get new issues that just came out fresh off the press, ordered for you, and put in your pull box. Now, Papa doesn't have a pull box. Papa goes in, picks out those pristine books with his fingers, issues, looking at them. You know what? I love going every Wednesday to get a new book. Gives me the anticipation of a new issue. Actually helps remind me what I've read and going, oh my gosh, Black Science 33, you were a shit fest. But issue 34 may pick it up. Or the anticipation for Southern Bastards number 19 to come out after months of waiting. I get so excited going in and knowing that this new number 1 of Dissonance came out. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna be like, holy shit, this book is so good. Can't wait for that issue 2 to come out. So tell me, why would you not want to get issues with the anticipation of what you can be getting? And knowing that after you go see Black Panther, there's going to be a new Black Panther book that you're going to want to go get because you're going to want to be caught up on it. That's the best way to be caught up and current on what you're getting. So you tell me how it's not the best way to do it. I don't even care if it's not getting it in the paper form. You're getting digital. That's still new weekly issues. I'll tell you what, the weekly is the only way to do it. I don't have time to wait for more than a week.
Go ahead, your remaining 2 minutes. You recall your time?
I'm good.
He recalls his time. By the way, I decided you both go and then you rebut for a minute, then you rebut for a minute. It makes more sense.
Well, yeah. That was,
So now I can't respond to what he's saying?
Not till
you will after you say it.
You argue your case and then we'll do the rebuttals.
I was so ready for some hellfire.
Here we go. 4 minutes, Garrett. Tell me why it's better to read and trades when it's collected.
People of the court. When we have trades, we get a complete story, okay, beginning to end. There is no delays. There is no waiting. I go in, I buy the book, I get to read the story right away. When you have a thing like issues, yes, they give you a lot of back matter. They give you things that really just, when you see that you have 32 pages of content, well, yeah, like the last 4 to 5 pages is not content of the actual story. It's more back matter. So when you actually get the trade, you're getting more of the story for less price. So you're saving money. You get the actual story. You don't get all the fluff around it. I mean, if you wanted to read letters, I mean, I don't know, go to the post office. You can get whole series. That's the thing you can't do with issues. A crazy guy I know went back and bought every single issue of Saga. You wouldn't have to do that. You could just buy 3 to 4 trades and you're already caught up. Maybe there's 6. Whatever. It's Image. They're like $10 a piece. For 15 maybe. Someone's paid $130 for just the first issue of a 40-ish issue series. So, what else can I say? I can read the whole, like, for me personally, I'm catching up on Spawn, and I have the first 100 issues in trades, and it cost me like $90. Save so much money on that. Yeah, I guess all I can point out is just how crazy it is to do week to week. And the biggest thing I have to put up there is just the delays. DC Comics alone right now is putting out so many delays. And while you have to, when I say you, I mean the people that get weekly books, have to wait diligently for this content to come out, I just get to forget about it until the whole story's done. And I'm like, all right, point shoot, I buy it. So I'm not rebutting anything, but I heard about some kind of southern or northern dicks or bastards or something. I think that, if you have to wait that long to get a single issue, is it really worth it? I mean, wouldn't you rather read, more than 30 pages at a time instead of getting 25 pages every 3 to 4 months? So I guess all I have to say here is trades all the way, and if not, reduced price digitally or on sale. Comics don't really go on sale. If they're really good issues, they go up in price. So in that aspect. Whoa, you cut me off.
Are you done?
It
seemed like that was the end.
To be fair, I hoped you were done.
I had the whole 4 minutes.
You're filibustering there. The one thing that I'm going to read. Well, It's only 1 minute. You got to give it a second. I'll wait. The one thing for trades, though, is that if I'm getting the issues, you got to wait for the trades to come out because the issues have to first come, and then you can receive your trades.
Objection, saying pointless shit that doesn't make any sense because we all know this.
How doesn't that make sense?
It does make
I have
sense.
to get the first issue before you can even get the fucking trade. Correct me. Am I wrong?
Can I use some of your time?
No, well, you can. I want you to chime in right now. Just tell me. Let's just have a conversation here.
Okay. Well, no, because I just told you I forget about that shit until it's all done.
Oh, well, then you're never going to get the book. You know how long you're going to be waiting for Doomsday issue 12 to come out? You're going to be 30 by the time that book is finally finished and out and printed.
It's 2 years.
Yeah, well, you're what, 28
I
now?
read Watchmen 20 years after it came out, so you didn't see me cry then.
I bet you cried.
Because it was so good.
Yeah, so good.
But I read it in trade.
You know what? Read it in issues. It's better in issues. You have to actually know that you have these issues. You get to know you have these specific things that get jacked up in price.
All right, shut up.
Me or that?
Hey, you.
Okay.
Garrett, you got a minute to rebuttal. First, I like to, before I forget, I was laughing during Garrett's because you were like, what do I say? And I know that's just you being like, we want the next thing, but your inflection was like, what do I say? And I thought you were just like, what the fuck? I think you forgot what you were going to say. What do I say?
What made me laugh is your shoot and point. Are you point and shoot?
Point and shoot.
1 minute rebuttal, and then I'm going to rule on this case. Garrett, go ahead.
And thank you, Judge, because you brought up a great point. When issues come out so sporadically, and you have a hard time remembering what happened in that previous issue, he did. He said, because I don't know what I was doing, what I was leading to, what I was transitioning to. How can you remember what you're reading now if you don't remember the last issue? So you missed some of that story, so you have to go back and reread it. So basically, you might as well have the trade, because when you read it all the way through, you're not missing any information. Your point about like the issues, like I'll never get that story, like I said, back in my mind. I don't need it right now. I'm not greedy like you. I can wait. I have patience because I know when I get to read the whole story
Objection.
all at once,
Insulting.
like I did at Deadly Class, I got to read that all the way through and catch up. You had to wait month to month to month. It's like old man Marvin over here watching Lost, starting with season 1, episode 1, all the way through to the end. So, boom, gauntlet dropped.
Sounds like you have an addict problem.
Whoa, objection. Give me 5 more seconds on the clock.
Why? I'll let you talk of mine.
Huh?
You talked during
I
this.
never... he said I could.
Okay, let me rule in this case here, Alex. There was one point I thought you would bring up, which would have brought that strong argument in, and that's the conversation. Talk with your friends about the issues, like the show, what it's based on. If you would have mentioned that, home run. But you did also bring up a good point. He's saying, what about the lace? But you're right. The trade doesn't come out unless the issues come out first, so obviously you're going to have the issues first.
I wasn't sure what you were doing.
Garrett's kind of weakened his argument when he was like, just buy them all on sale and digital. That's still issues, so...
Not when they're put together as a trade.
That's not what you said, though.
But see,
I did.
Okay, not even a question for the game, just a question in general. It wouldn't be a trade though online, would it?
They sell.
They do
Would
in
it still be an
collections.
issue? Is it okay?
They sell trades.
You
Okay.
can still trade.
They're usually like cheaper, and you get all of it in one. But then you
But
brought
you
up,
never have to exit and go to the
you
next
brought up a
thing.
good point, which is what I'm going to give. That's why I'm going to give you the case. Is you mentioned you don't have to remember because the whole story is right there. So beginning to end, you can read it at your pace, and you don't have to be like, hey, what happened 2 issues ago? You just read it. So
Just like the mime, point shoot.
I do agree with the issue part more. Actually, I was on that point.
You just said me.
I ruined your favor, but I said I agree. The judge can be impartial. I said
Well, you actually have to choose a side.
no, as evidence, he wins, Garrett. But as a personal preference,
That's not a word. Preference.
Is that like porridge and pleasure?
I
Pleasure yourself.
Oh, God.
I go with Alex. So
So case wise, he chooses you
for the conversation,
legitimate reason.
I told you if you would have been like, hey, you can talk with your friends and keep up with it, and like it's part of the
For the popular
anticipation,
vote, it was you.
Yeah.
So, Garrett, what's your case? Judge
Preference.
Yeah, I'm the judge now.
Judge Walls.
Judge Walls presiding
Judge-
of the Garrett nature. Because there's a Corey.
Judge DK.
Oh, okay. I'll give you that one. I was
Thank
like,
you.
that was dumb, but
So-
it makes more sense.
Here's the case. Action Comics 1000 is coming. Okay?
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
Just brain melted a little bit.
And there's rumors in the Twitter sphere that Superman is getting his red trunks back. So, I want to know if you're for it, why are you for those trunks coming back in their
Okay.
unlaundered glory?
Way of the four.
And then against, I want to say, why do we need those trunks back? I thought they were good without. So I'm going to give Marvin the 4 trunks and Alex against trunks. And we'll start with Alex because let's talk about the status quo. Why does he need those trunks back? You start, Alex.
So I am negative trunks. I want it to be blue cock.
You're not for the trunks.
Okay. Well, it's a good reason. Why would you need the trunks? Who's got started? They serve no purpose. Superman doesn't get chilly. He doesn't need these extra pair of pants over his already sweet costume. He's already got the belt. He doesn't need to show off that man junk he's got. No one wants to see that shit. Lois Lane isn't here. He's out saving the world. His bat friend doesn't want to see it. Wonder Woman's like, bro, I'm a lesbian. And we're cool with that. Go for it. But you know what? There's no point in bringing in this. Don't look at me.
I'm the judge, son.
There's no point in bringing in this red. I don't know. No offense. It's an eyesore. Why bring in this focus right on the crotch?
Is it because it's so big?
Of course, I'm distracted by it.
I'm talking about the underwear. You're sick.
But I really am. I'm distracted by it. Is this big, almost mid-thigh up? It just draws attention to his junk. I don't want to see this. You know the thing that we love? Superman. Best character ever made. And you can put that on paper. It even hurt me to say that.
Whoa. Keep going.
But he's better than Spider-Man, who's got the same problem. Red crotch.
Son, would you please continue with your opening statement?
I'm laughing, sir. I'm sorry. Forgive me. in enjoyment.
Hold you in contempt.
For what? Talking to you quick.
Talking to me quick. You got fucking keep going.
I got 2 minutes 15 seconds, sir. I'm getting to it. You want me to defend the Superman
right.
with his blue pants? This lack of
I believe they are called leggings.
Are they not? Anyway.
Tights.
Fuck it. We don't want the red pants.
I'm not hearing a why.
Why do we not want the red pants?
Mm-hmm.
Told you. We don't want the eyesore of, look at my crotch. Look at my super crotch.
Is that all you have to say?
That's the only reason you need. We live in a world where we don't want to broadcast sexualization. That's all we're doing with Superman. Is bringing this eyesore of a target of, hey, look at what I'm wearing. More importantly, it's not anatomically correct. Is he wearing a Superman jockstrap underneath that to keep it all contained? I think not.
Do you recall in your time?
Prosecution rests. Or defense rests.
All right. Marvin. Merv. Oh, he's standing up. Why?
Banging his chair on the ground.
Why are Superman's trunks
My headphones are cut in the chair.
the underwear we need, just don't deserve right now?
Oh, here you go. All right. 4 minutes on the clock. When you look at Superman in his red trunks, let me tell you something here right now. These red trunks do not... You look at it, you say, that's old school, baby. You say, that's old school, baby. Of course it's old school. That's what Superman represents. Action Comics. 1000? Let's go back to number 1, baby. Number 1, he has them on there. If we're going to go back to number 1 and he has them, you know where that's from? Back in the day, the strong man wore the trunks. And what is he but a modern day strong man? So he's got to be wearing them, baby. You can't look at him and not say, it's a strong man. That's a staple. You're going to go out there and have a cop without a badge? No. You're going to go out there and have a fireman without a helmet? No. That's a staple. That's how you know he's strong. The underwears are on him. And you ask me, why red, baby? Why red? It could be any color out there. It could be blue. It can match his pants. Because you got to know when you see it. Look at that cape. Look at that symbol. Look at them trunks, baby. Look at them shoes. It's red. That's the family colors. So when you say family crest, when you got to represent, you got to go red. Red sun of Krypton. That's what I'm saying, baby. So he represents an old time. So why are you going to update and modernize Superman? This man's old school. You're not going to go out there and tell somebody who's old school and be like, hey, you should dress modern. Jimi Hendrix, talked about him earlier. Man dressed old school. You're going to be like, hey.
Marvin Salguero.
Hey, who's that guy? Like, guess what? Back in even in like football, they go throwback. You don't want throwback Thursday on this Superman? That's throwback, baby. That's because he's wearing them trunks. Like I said, strongman back in 1938. Strongman used to pick up 1,000 pounds with his bare hands. Superman could do 15 times that. And the only way they can both...
He can move the whole planet, but okay.
The way that, hey, he was restricted back in the day. He gonna leap, not fly. Now, don't be telling lies out of school. This guy can only leap over buildings in one giant leap. What's it called?
Bound.
Faster than a speeding bullet. Stronger than a strong man because of them underwears, baby. So that's why he's got to have it. You got to go old school. You can't be having those underwears running around. Look at the thing you're looking at. You're saying, hey, he's updated. You don't need the underwear. It's an eyesore. I'll tell you what, it's an eyesore not to have it. Because I'm thinking the whole time, is he wearing it underneath? Now my mind's going. It's racing. And you're saying it's inappropriate. Now I'm more inappropriate. I'm thinking what's underneath there. Because he got the red trunks underneath, and he might. But we don't know. Let's play some up top. Now I know. And I got to know. There's a lot of mystery behind this guy. At least that I know. And in life, you need to know everything you can. And when I go and do that census, because I'm a census worker also. I'm a lawyer and a census worker. That's a volunteer work, though. I go door to door and I say, hey, Superman, how many red underwear are in his house? And he goes, 1 right here. And they're like, oh, good job, buddy. Good job.
Right on my crotch.
So my final words are, if we're going to go old school, let's go old school, baby. Let's go old school.
Thank you, Councilman Lando Calrissian.
Alex, rebuttal, 1 minute. Let's go.
So I see what you're saying. We're going old school, but why are we so ashamed of what's going on now? If all you said is old school, strong man, why is he not a strong man if he's not just wearing his tights? Why are we so afraid and ashamed that he has to go back to the tights? Why can't we just embrace where he's going now? You know, you talked about this Captain America. We were so ashamed that...
Whoa, son. Keep it on point. Stay on point. Don't bring in that Marvel shit in this house. Go.
We've got a really biased judge.
You just get more biased if you keep pointing fingers, son.
If you call me something again, I'm going to break your fingers. I don't care if you're a judge or not. No one misuses me in this place.
You got 12 seconds, son.
Superman is the worst character of all time, and I hope he does seppuku and kills himself with the kryptonite sword. Defense rest. Fuck Superman.
Oh, shit. I know the title of this episode's going to be Performing Seppuku.
God.
Oh, come on. I got a minute here.
You
Just
missed.
break your phone.
You're saying, why do we go old school? I keep saying old school, but what's the point of old school, baby? I'll tell you what's the point. We're going back to making things great. Back in the day, Superman used to wear them tights, and I knew he was wholesome. Now, you say, hey, he's a strong man. Why does he need the tights? Like I told you, that's his power in them tights. Keeps him in check, just like them strong men. Them strong men used to carry them weights. They used to carry it from to and fro. Superman carries them from planet to planet, and the only thing that allows him to do so is them trunks. Them trunks lets them do it. One day, you're going to tell me a story. I got 19 seconds. It's going to settle this case once and for all. One day, I'm outside. Guess what? Car flips over. I don't know what happened. No, the car, but there's people trapped inside. I tried to pick up that car. I couldn't do it. Ran inside, put on some trunks out there. Guess what? Threw that shit over a mountain.
Oh, my God. Jesus.
So, yeah, they're dead, but I'm just telling you I'm strong.
Fuck. You thought I was filibustering that whole time.
Oh my God.
Holy Jesus.
Fire department could have saved those people.
How did they die?
You fucked them already.
They're gonna be like, how did they die?
So you're saying on Action Comics #1 when he's picking up that car, he just fucking tosses it over his shoulder.
Hey, case is proven though. Strong.
All right. Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
You're fucking trash.
So, Marvin, what would have sold it for me 100% is that you never mentioned support. Why he has to wear those?
Obviously, there's some support.
Not that kind of support. Stopping the super chafe. You didn't bring it up. That's okay, though. Alex, I don't know what the fuck you were smoking because you told me no. I just want to know. Like, now that we're done, like legitly, like what's your preference? Trunks or no trunks? Like in all seriousness.
Maybe now that we're done, who won?
Yeah.
Well, I just want. I would say Marvin. You put a lot of historical facts in there. Besides saying baby every other line. Strong. That is true. They did base that off the strong man.
Is that really? Oh,
Yeah, that's why I put the underwear on the outside. So,
That's not that they give some strength, right?
but as we were
The
talking
strong man
about
used to
it,
wear like black trunks and then the
yeah.
white kind of leggings. That's why. Yeah.
so I want to know what your preference.
Like, do I actually like him? Like, I think personally, it does break up all that blue.
Right.
'Cause that's
I think
lot
it's a
of
nice
blue.
color palette. What
So
about you there, Marvin?
I do like his new costume a lot. Not the new 52, but like the new one that they recently came out with. That looks fine. That looks classic. When I see that, I never noticed the red trunks.
Yeah.
Like, it's not an eyesore.
Something that, yeah.
Yeah, when I seen him, I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's how it's supposed to be. But even like when I say the new one too, I don't even notice. Like I don't think it's really that big a deal either way.
Yeah.
But if they're gonna bring it back, there has to be a reason. Like they got rid of it because they're trying to like push
Make
things
it more
modern day.
functionality based.
But if they're gonna bring it back, maybe do an issue where he talks about Strongman used to wear this. Like this is classic. I'm honoring something about it. They can't just bring it back and him never mention why it's back.
And just be like, damn.
So I don't care either way. It just there needs to be a point in them bringing it back rather than just being like, hey guys, look, I'm wearing my trunks again.
I don't know. In a way, I would see it being that, like, and I know you hate Spider-Man, but Spider-Man has other outfits.
Yeah, right.
That, he goes, today I'm feeling nostalgia. I want to be wearing my red trunks. Or, like, are they ever going to have Bruce from Gary Frayne drawn him with the circle? They're ever actually going to mention why he went back to
they
it?
were bringing Batman's trunks back, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess to me, I always thought Batman had trunks on.
Well,
He did for a while.
Because in the animated series, like, he's got the black.
It's the same reason. It's they base a lot of those characters off of Strongman. So
do you think last question about it, and then we'll move on to the next case. Do you think they'll keep the trunks on him post 1000 or just for 1000 they'll have them on the trunks?
I would imagine it's part of like a backup that Bendis is writing, and I think it's going to be a classic Superman story. I don't think it's going to take place during modern times.
Oh, well then also I told you guys what's happening in that issue too. Something to look forward to. The first time that a story from Siegel and Schuster Superman run will be published that was previously unpublished. So
It's all completed?
12 pages, new content, yep.
It's not, someone else is not doing art?
Nope.
It is full. Okay.
It's full. Just 12 pages though, so.
They going to get paid for it?
By special arrangement by the Jerry Siegel family.
Did you say that was 384 pages for that?
The hardcover is.
Nice.
Because it does a lot of reprints of his like most iconic issues. So that makes it way more worth it in my eyes than just if it was just the issue oversized. Yeah.
I could see you spending $30 for that.
Yeah.
Then.
Alex, what's your case?
It's a simple case. It's who's better, Justice League or the Avengers? What do you think I was going to ask you?
No, I just thought you were going to say, like, do you hate or not hate like a team?
Oh no! I want you to sell me on the Avengers. Well, yeah, because after we just talked about your favorite, I thought, no, I need it. And Marvin's going to sell me on the Justice League. There's not really a defense. Garrett,
Of course.
you're first.
All right, the Avengers. You have your while they're okay. I don't even know where to go with this. So why they're a better team than the Justice League? Well, I guess they get along. The way they meet is, they all have similar causes. They want to save people, maybe hunt some things together.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
Why are they a good team? Well, obviously they have a lot of talents and skill sets that they can spread out throughout their repertoire. They got the muscle, which is the Hulk. They got the brains, which is Tony Stark.
Sorry, my water reverted.
They have the rule maker, Cap. They have the spy, which is Black Widow. They have, guy who can shoot pointy things, it's Hawkeye. Man, you really picked something in my wheelhouse here. What? I'm working on it.
I know. You got.
It's tough for me to say because they're so powerful a team when they work together. It brings tears to my eyes. They never fight. They're always kind to one another. There's never any ego. Ego is always out of it. It's all peace and love. Except for the Hulk, sometimes he likes to, play some fun with Thor. Just gives a little punch in the shoulder. And they're like, that was so funny. Bro. So yeah, they're just bro hugging and bra hugging and whatnot. So, I really have no argument for this. They're just great. They're just a good team.
Surely a way to argue your point being like, this is not good.
What?
I said that's surely a way to argue your point being like, this is not good.
Hey, maybe his rebuttal will bring me around.
You gonna recall your time?
No, I'm not. I'm gonna use it up. I'm gonna use it up. I gotta bring this out of
filibuster some more.
Yeah, I gotta filibuster a little bit more. Now, when we're talking about the Avengers, I'm talking about the original team. I'm not talking about the new pretend heroes. I'm talking about the real deal here. Steve Rogers, Captain America. Tony Stark, Iron Man. Clint Barton, Hawkeye. Tasha Romanoff, Black Widow. Bruce Banner, Hulk. Did I say that?
No.
Okay, cool. Some other people, they're good teams.
So I would say you're not doing the actual original. You're doing the
Thor, Odinson, Thor. Mew Mew. Yeah, we're just a team doing things. Yeah, I'm done with my time. Literally, okay, when we get done with this...
If I had done JL, you would have been talking about Storm.
Oh, I would have been... Yeah, I would have had plenty to say. Because I'll tell you what I actually think about the Avengers as a team after we're done with this.
1960. Justice League is introduced.
Cheating. He looked it up.
I got that in the back of my head. Then blueberries.
Bullshit.
Blueberries, good for the memory. 1960 Justice League comes out, and you're asking me why they're better. I'll tell you why right now. You got the core trinity on the team. You got Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. Now that's your base. And what's a good part of anything is a good base. You can't build anything off foundation. You who told me that? Theodore Roosevelt. So you got to build a nice foundation, and you build upon that. Now think about all the members of the Justice League. We're not talking about this guy talked about some Hawkeye shit. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Green Arrow. He's got some trick arrows. We're talking about Green Arrow steals from the rich, gives to the poor. Man's got a cause. We're talking about the Flash, fastest man alive, the man of science. We're talking about Cyborg. We're talking about a man and machine. Half man, half machine, all hero, baby. We're talking about...
Too many babies.
I'm talking about Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, the protector of Earth. A lot of shit happening outside the Earth. You don't know what's going on. He did make sure... You know what? Every single day, a galactic empire is going to destroy the Earth. You know how people on Earth don't go crazy? It's because they don't know about it. And Green Lantern makes sure that happens. So you get a nice base, but also the extremities. They're all strong too. Is that the word?
I don't know who the extremities
The
are.
phalanges. They're all strong, baby.
Fingers.
You got a fist, and that's the 3, and then you got phalanges out front, and that's the strong base there. So, the strong ones: Flash, Green Lantern. So what I'm saying, this whole thing all around. No matter who you have out there, hey guys, on the moon something's happening. Hal Jordan, send him. Send the Flash. Send Cyborg. I'm not worried. Hey guys, there's a nuke gonna go off. Send Batman, send Wonder Woman, and send Green Lantern. I don't care. All of them, no matter what the combination is, you know it's good. You go roll up to that drive-through menu and you don't get any combo. Any combo's good. 1 through 6, baby. Any of them. Get a free drink with it too. You know what that free drink is? Anybody else. Booster Gold, Blue Beetle. Anybody can join that team, and they're all gonna work out. Meanwhile, this Avengers team, they're all fighting all the time. Not in Justice League, baby. Super friends. They all like each other. They all know each other. That's how they work out. They all got each other's backs. And they know at the end of the day, no matter who they're with, who they're up against. You got Batman to your right, Wonder Woman to your left. Obviously, I'm Superman. Obviously, I'm in the middle. You got that Trinity up front, and they're all willing to die, and they have in the past, to make it happen. So, Justice League. Oh, also, by the way, final words on this. If anything, you're saying, hey, I don't like that. You know what? He's talking about all this stuff. None of it makes sense to me. You know what makes it the best team in the world? I'll tell you right now. It's got Batman on it, so Endgame.
By the way, I did go into this being unbiased, so you can sell me on the Avengers.
There you go, your rebuttal.
Well, they may have Batman, but we have a Hulk. Mic drop, right?
Boom.
I mean, you know, Superman has fought Hulk before.
What? Go ahead.
Hulk and Superman have fought before. Maybe not in the comics, but we all know that Hulk wins. Hulk smash.
They have fought in the comics when DC versus Marvel.
Oh, I guess I haven't read that yet. Because I feel like the Avengers were only pestered by the annoying Justice League to fight. So Avengers only fight if they have to. It's like Mr. Miyagi in The Karate Kid. You know, we only fight if we have to, if it means something. We need to have something to avenge. We never react first. We're never proactive. No, I'm saying we avenge the people that can't avenge themselves. we're not the first. We're not like Minority Report. We don't take people out just because they look funny.
Let me tell you something. Fuck off. This man brought up a good point, and I'm glad he brought it up. I'm over here thinking of things I could tell you, and he brought it up right away. Superman versus the Hulk, he says. He says, we got a Hulk. Guess what, baby? Superman versus Hulk in that DC versus Avengers or Marvel. Superman wins, baby, because Hulk gets so exhausted he can't fight the Man of Steel. And who could? Because the Man of Steel is solid. Remember that foundation I told you about? They don't name him that if he's weak. They don't name him that if he can move. An immovable object versus an unstoppable force. I thought you win, Superman. So like I said, we got Batman on the team. We got Superman. We got Wonder Woman. There's no way you're beating that Trinity no matter who's on that Avengers team. Captain America, get back in that ice. That's what I'm telling you right now.
Are you
Dynamite. There's no way I won that.
No, there's not.
Oh my god.
Garrett, I should have given you JL because I would like to have seen what your guys' other way around would have been.
Well, the thing for me, the Avengers, I've never thought as a great team. I feel like it's like the all-star football teams. It's like you have a lot of A players working together, but they don't want to work together.
So they're all
they do not. They're not pieces to a whole. It's just like we have to do this together, and like just because we're all superpowered individuals, we're working together. I've never thought that like strategically the Avengers have worked well together. Justice League is different because you got Cyborg who runs like an infrastructure. Flash is your quick,
he's your
guy,
recon almost.
Right. He's basically your Arrow, I would say, actually. He goes in, he can do things really quickly and handle situations that are like gonna especially like explosions or things like that. Batman is your think on the move kind of guy. He's your leader. He's your action plan person. Superman's the bullet. I mean, you point him in a direction, he's gonna go. Wonder Woman is a warrior, obviously, but I mean, she's a tactical fighter. So when she's going up against her opponents, she's going to do it in a way that's graceful to the people around, but not to the actual person she's hitting. Green Lantern, he's kind of like the sky. He's up in the air, making sure that nothing from the sky or anything is going to come down and fall on Earth. Aquaman, things at sea. So they have all areas covered. They work well together. There's a clear chain of command. Avengers, it's like whoever can fucking punch this guy first, you're it right now. You're it.
I would agree that Justice League has got more of a diverse team, but I think depending on where you go from Avengers, like you've got Captain, who's your focus point. You've got the money, which is what Bruce and Iron Man would be, but I would say Marvin won the Justice
definitely, because I could not pull shit out of my ass for that team being better than Justice League. So
yeah, I figured I'll give you the hard one, thinking no, I know
that's good. That's good to do it that way because otherwise it wouldn't be it wouldn't be interesting.
I could have done Avengers.
Well, I was gonna say I figured Marvin would be. I knew you could do Justice League, Garrett.
Yeah.
But I thought, I don't know how much you actually know or maybe how much you've invested in Avengers.
Well, I've read some of the earlier stuff, but again, it's all like happenstance.
Yeah.
Oh, that's been Wednesday Comics, WednesdayComics605 at gmail.com. You know what the thing is, though, is that I could argue any kind of situation because I just like to...
jabber on.
Your freaking voice, your judge voice.
You didn't do it that often. You didn't do the Southern drawl as often as I thought you would.
That little bit. When it was necessary. WednesdayComics605 at gmail.com. Let us know who would win in a fight, Hulk or Guppy. 605-215-1849. Leave us a voicemail like that first segment. Be part of the show. If you just want to leave a comment and don't have a question, we'll put that in the show. And you can also be part of the show there. So
I tell you what that would look like. It would be a blood stain. That's all that would be left of Guppy.
Be like having some shark for dinner.
DC, I know we have delays. I know we have all these issues coming up. Give me a Guppy number 1. I'm good. Did I say that? Oh, no. Yeah, I said that already. iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and Stitcher Radio. Make sure you subscribe to the show and listen to the show there. If you have anybody interested in comics, let them know. Spotify, throw it in there. That's not a right word. Make sure to let them know and be like, hey, WednesdayComics.com. There's all the buttons there. If you ever forget, hey, what are they on again? WednesdayComics.com. There's buttons there. You click on it, it brings you to iTunes, brings you to Google Play, brings you to Stitcher Radio and Spotify. At Wednesday Comics on Twitter. Find us on the Twitterverse. At Alex Mastrello. At Garot2188. That's GROT 2188. At Marvin_Salguero. Once again, go to WednesdayComics.com. All the Twitter handles are there. You can click on it, go right to our page. Facebook.com/Wednesday Comics Podcast. That's where you can find us on Facebook. Let us like our page there and leave us a comment. And that if you ever are looking to see YouTube, where the Gauntlet comes out every Wednesday, today and Thursday. Got to see that Hugh Jackman movie.
And I lost my Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, you did.
I couldn't find it to put the gems in.
There's more videos to come. We're brainstorming ideas. Go to also WednesdayComics.com. See Garrett's uploading some things. You can put one up today?
Yep, I will be.
Okay. It's Sunday today.
What the fuck, guys? Break the fourth wall.
Watched you wink at me.
So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube page to get those videos when they come out. Don't be surprised. If you're subscribed, you get a little notification. Also follow us on social media, so that way you can also know in case you miss it on YouTube. We'll let you know, hey, show's out. Come watch it, baby. A lot of babies in this show.
Too many.
That's what you need to call it this week.
Anything else? Where's my thing?
The baby returns, too.
Nobody puts baby in it.
Supercon 2018. That is Return of the Con. It's September 28th, 29th, and 30th. We'll be there on the 28th, right after that map show was announced. Wrestling first, second, Little Wednesday Comics. Who knows what's going to happen? You have to show up to figure it out. After dark. RootsOfTheSwampThing.com, your definitive online place for all things Swamp Thing. Make sure to go there, learn about the green. Avatar of the Green, not just the green. That's money, baby.
Learn about money. All right.
But the Avatar of the Green, you think he's the Avatar of the Green? Can I make a parody where he's the Avatar of money?
Isn't money is made of trees, so.
Yeah.
Oh, you think he pops out of them? No, but they're not connected to anything.
Money.
No, I've seen him come out of flowers. John, email us or Twitter us or tweet us. Would he come out of a potted plant? It's not connected to the earth in any way, but can he show up? Is that teleportation?
I suppose as long as the pot was touching.
As long as there's a seed that's got life. As long as there's life in that.
I mean, he got
you
into
put water
space.
on that dollar bill.
Don't talk about pot on the show.
Oh, sorry.
Alex, we got a book club, right?
Wednesday Comics, League of Extraordinary Gentle People proudly presents
Day Tripper by Fabio Moon and Gabriel Ba. I'm not going to worry about how we said it last week. I'm just going to say it how I think it's said. Fabu
Moon.
And no, he is not a villain in Dragon Ball Z.
It is available on Hoopla, available digitally, available in trade form if you want to go get it.
I got issues too, so
yeah, I know.
Not my personal issues. I got actual.
We know you got issues. We heard you say. Day Tripper. It is how many issues? 10 issue story about life in general, baby. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna cry about it. That is gonna happen on April.
I don't remember if it's April 5th or not.
April. Let's look it up. It's going to happen the first Wednesday in April. Make sure you have your feedback in. We can talk about it on the show.
Wait, it is the 5th.
April 4th,
Damn it,
2018. We're going to talk about it on the 5th. So that's what we need on the 4th. So make sure you get that information to us at Wednesday Comics. If you want to tweet us, Facebook.com/Wednesday Comics Podcast. 605-215-1849. Leave a voicemail or email us. WednesdayComics605@gmail.com. Also, if you don't feel like you want to, if you want to call into the show, but you're like, I don't want to call and leave a voicemail, maybe I'm not ready, kind of nervous, you know what I mean? You can, if you want to, email us an audio form, which you've taken the time to record, re-record, whatever you want to do, and I'll play that on the show. Any way you want to talk to us, baby, we're open. Ears open, baby. 2018 has been a good year for the baby. I'm a New Year baby. That's why. I got to keep that game up. God. Hey. Happy New Year, by the way.
Okay.
Like we said, things have been delayed. Maybe I'm a little delayed tonight. That's what I'm going to talk about. Those blueberries are helping every day a little bit more. I got to get the trunks out, get the blueberries in me. We're going to get the things flowing.
We got to end the show.
It's getting weird. I'm going to start throwing things.
Chugging that car over a mountain.
Full of people.
You know...
Full of babies.
Until next time, I've been Marvin.
You are dumb shit. I am Alex.
And I'm Garrett, son.
Hey everyone, keep turning those pages.